motion to begin tonight's meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna be sending around minutes from September 24th's meeting. I have Jim, Joey, and Ryan who'll be here later. So if you guys don't mind signing that.
Motion to
thank you.
sign the minutes for everybody.
Did you accept them first?
Oh, that's right. You have to accept them.
Motion
Motion
to
to
accept.
accept. Thank you.
And you have to have a second.
Second.
And you have a discussion. Any discussion?
Any discussion on the minutes?
I think you have a, because
You want to read it first?
1, 2,
We have a
You-
quorum.
okay,
1, 2, 3.
okay, yeah.
You, Joe?
Perfect. So yeah, and then Joey, and then I'll make sure I'll get a signature from Ryan when he gets here. With our third. All right, I want to speed run through this one real quick, just so we can get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's discussion. There was a bleacher concern that was brought to my attention from our very own Jim Mishu. I was able to determine that the bleachers at the rec center are not in dire need of repair, but there are a couple that could definitely use them come spring. So I'll be looking this winter into seeing if we can get some new wooden boards, and I could potentially use some help from the commission here on replacing said boards before spring sports start in the spring. So I wanted to put that on everyone's attention. I'm not worried about anybody, especially as fall sports are wrapping up here. We're almost done. I'm not worried about anybody getting injured on them, but we should definitely look into that for springtime.
Can we look into composite or something? Because I feel like we're constantly fixing this.
Right. We've been doing that for years.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
look into them. I know they're not cheap, but we can look into them.
Yeah, but if you spend the money once and then we don't have to
Yeah.
fix them for 20 years, then it's
That's
so much
worth it.
better.
The only concern I would have is how are they situated on the thing?
Yeah,
Because
if there's enough flex
or enough, because you have to, if they'll warp if they get too hot. So is it sitting in the sun?
even that PVC like
Yeah.
edge board.
It warps, and that's, so you have to make sure you have enough spacing, number one, for expansion and contraction. But they do, like, it depends on where the supports are that are underneath it, because if this thing warps, now I got a wave.
Yeah, fair enough. And then if we can't do that, we have to go with regular PT. Can we do some sort of like staining or something?
Sure, we can make it look nice.
to
yeah.
maintain.
You
to
can
Oh,
weatherize them.
weather
them
it,
longer.
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be
I want to
opposed to
say we
that.
did this like
I know
less than
I
5
did
years
it.
ago.
I know I did a couple boards 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know about the commission or Andy and if there was any more recent,
What type
but
of
I know
material did you use?
we bought like
PT?
PT from Lowe's, I'm pretty sure. We grabbed a bunch of boards and just took them off, put them back
I'm
on.
just trying to figure out where they are. Is it worthwhile, the ones that are questionable that you have to replace? Could you remove those now so that way it's not a safety hazard?
We could, but then there's the metal brackets or whatever that are holding the boards, those would be exposed.
Okay.
So I think it'd be better just to keep them there, because in my opinion, the wood is less dangerous than the exposed metal frame. And then, as I said, hopefully by the springtime, we can go ahead and replace those.
And soccer's only going on for another 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. We have this weekend and next weekend, and then soccer. All fall sports are done. The facility's gonna be used a lot less. I think a lot of our facility rentals are wrapping up this weekend. So the use of our facilities will be decreasing starting this weekend. So that's why I'm not in an immediate rush to get these fixed, but it's something that we should definitely look at for spring. So I just want to bring that to the attention of the commission, because I'll definitely need help. I don't have Andy's nice truck that he had to help move wood back and forth. And also the hands would be nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump into this. Next thing on my agenda here is to talk about the vacant seat on our commission. Currently, we have 4 board seats being filled by Ryan, Joey, Jim, and Julie, meaning we have a 5th open seat. After speaking with the select board 2 weeks ago, I think it was, the select board asked us to give the select board a recommendation as to who to nominate for that 5th spot. So I am now giving it to the commission to figure out how we want to move forward.
Come on.
Laura is
Start.
interested in that position, right?
Who wants to be the
Is,
victim?
is anyone else interested in this position?
I actually applied for it, and then when John resigned, I went to Andy and asked him if I could be appointed, because I was the alternate who had applied for it. And so, yeah,
You're interested?
I've been interested for 6
Anybody
weeks.
else? Yay, no? No?
So question, I
ahead.
just want to add into this because I know that the select board has done this with their own open spaces. The board, after discussion, had put Laura in as the alternate. John decided to leave after everybody voted and put her in as an alternate, and we put you in there as well. One thing I had thought of is there are other folks who have thought of applying to rec. Should we, and I'm just throwing this out here, and this is nothing against you, because I know you did put in for full-time, but it was voted that you were voted in as an alternate, and we weren't expecting John to leave his full-time position. I am wondering if we should open it to anyone outside, again, to the public, to allow them to put in them wanting it, because basically what's gonna happen is if we move Laura up, then we're gonna have another, we're gonna have to fill, right,
So
so somebody's
anybody
gonna have to
that's-
come out
anybody
as an
that's
alternate
interested,
anyway.
I would,
But you made an extra alternate because you only were looking for two. There were two openings for alternates.
And you
took
can
three.
do that,
Right.
we can do that, that was discussion, that the board
That's what
kinda
we
came
did.
up with as a full
for
board.
discussion purposes,
I mean, I'm just tossing that out there,
my
just
thought
as a,
is if you have people that are interested in serving on the board.
Yep.
Typically, you want somebody that's engaged and kind of showing up. If you have alternates that have been showing up for the meetings and they're here
Mhm.
and they're dependable, there's no harm, no foul, I guess,
sure,
as far as saying, we're gonna move that person up to being a permanent member of the
Yep.
board.
You recommend?
And let's
Yeah.
and let's move to put somebody who might be interested into an alternate person.
Mhm.
Because if they're an alternate, I want them to show up too, so
Sure.
they're engaged, and they're
Yeah.
well aware of what's going on. So if she goes outside tonight and gets hit by a truck,
Oh my God, really?
Could we just win the lottery?
or wins the lottery,
Yeah, we'll go
and
with that
tries
one.
to move on.
Right.
You need to
Yeah.
have somebody to step into that slot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the purpose of the alternate.
No, yeah, no, that's
So-
totally fine. I'm just I'm
would
tossing
be
that
my
out there because I do
recommendation
know
is for
folks
the
who are
board
interested, so.
To give me, if you want to pause on it, fine. If
What's
you want to
the
give me a name,
Remainder of the term.
March 26th.
March 26th.
John's term
Yes,
expires.
correct.
Now, a question I have, if it's all right, ours is just a recommendation. So if we go ahead and say we recommend Laura
Mhm.
to fill the seat until March.
Right.
The select board has the ability to say, no, we don't want. I'm not saying that they will. I don't
Right.
mean
I'm
it
not
that
offended.
way.
No,
But
no,
there
no,
is-
Well,
right.
there
they
is
have gone
technically-
against our recommendations.
They have in the past,
That's
yes.
why we-
That's
And
why
that-
I'm tossing it
and
all
that puts us
out there.
back at square zero.
Correct.
you can still make a recommendation.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
The concern is if we do go back to ground zero,
I'm
we have
fine
to
with
do this game
supporting
again.
what you guys want to recommend.
Okay.
Yep.
It's just food for thought. I don't have any say in this, so but I just want to know
Correct.
that would go.
I'm not quiet, so I
Yeah.
think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Out of
But we
curiosity,
still then, should we start the search for an alternate?
I would. And
Yeah.
you're gonna have to make sure that, like in March, since the term is up in 26, you
Right.
still have to make sure, come March, you might have won the lottery.
Right.
Yeah.
You bought me,
Right.
bought me
Yeah.
the 392.
Yeah,
And then I
Yeah.
might be joining her, going, where are we going?
yeah, yeah.
Or I might get hit by a truck. So you want to make sure that you have somebody that's, if
Yeah.
you have people that are interested, that
Yeah,
they're
to
throwing
get
their
them
name in
thrown,
the hat,
yeah.
because you're going to have to, and you're going to have a different select board
Mhm.
in
Right,
March. There's
correct.
3 seats that are open.
Yeah,
I'm only planning on running for the 1 year, although I've had people threaten me that I better be running for 3. I'm only planning on doing for 1.
Yeah.
It's a short visit. So I think you guys need to realize that whoever you recommend for appointment, you might have a completely different dynamic on the board.
right,
And so historically, people get in and they want to continue with whatever you have. So
Yeah.
if your term was up in March of 26, chances are they're going to carry that on and just say, I'm going to stick that route.
yeah,
But you do get some people sometimes get in and have an agenda, and that's got to be controlled. So,
Yeah.
Do you want to try and fill the alternate now too, like open it up, we can fill an alternate.
yeah.
would,
Yep.
would the alternate term end at the same time? Or no?
They're yearly basis. I'm
They're,
pretty sure.
they're, right,
So
It'd be
They
March to
were
March.
the first of the year. At one point do they switch back to March?
To running the
They,
same.
yeah, so I believe when Andy was here and he talked with,
But last time I signed paperwork,
yeah, and it didn't get
was-
filed, yeah,
it
right,
was December.
right, it was.
Ended the end of December, so I don't know if there's changes that have happened, but that should be verified. What
Yeah.
is the actual term of the
Correct.
alternate?
So
I've been
we-
running
I
off
would-
fiscal year.
I'll
Yeah.
make a motion when I go to the board on
Yeah.
Tuesday that we say it's a year appointment from when we appoint them. I would be fine with even doing that if you guys want to recommend her be appointed.
Mhm.
That term is going to go from, let's say we do it on, October 28th. It would go to October 28th of
I'd rather be
26.
consistent.
Yeah,
across the
exactly.
board,
Yeah.
but
You guys aren't
that-
all expiring in March, are you?
No,
No,
There's different, like, terms.
Yeah.
3 year, 1 year?
Yeah, exactly, but.
And so this would just be to fill the
This
slot
is-
that was vacated.
Correct.
What we've ran into is that everything was always March.
yes, right,
And then they changed it to the alternates
yeah,
were December 31st.
yeah, that was, one-
Don't ask me.
I think it was the previous select board, I believe, made that change,
So I
because
just
it was
wanna,
always March.
I was marching towards I'm done. December
On the
31st.
website, it says your
Of this
term
year?
expires December.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
That's
that's what
what-
I'm saying. It's still, the alternate is still a different term date.
correct,
So
'Cause I have
do
Laura and
recommend
Joey
going
on
forward,
July.
you guys align that because it's confusing. People think about when it's a
Yeah.
time to apply for
Yeah.
boards with all the other boards in town.
I mean,
So I
to
think
be
it
honest
should-
with you, I think it should go back to March, the way it's always
It
been,
should,
For
yes.
consistency,
First-
that's
yeah.
probably what it should do. So
Yes.
then,
because that's what everybody is,
so maybe requesting that you do an extension on your
just to
appointment.
March, just to March.
Thanks
Another
for,
3 months.
thanks
Just
for
a
bringing that
March.
up. I appreciate you doing that. So I can do that. We can make a recommendation on the 28th that we extend whoever's terms expiring before March, that they extend them to March.
So a question for you on that one.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you.
The water's warm.
But you guys, I
Right.
think it should be aligned going forward.
I agree with you.
because
Oh, yeah,
It's messy and it's confusing.
yeah, correct.
So,
How many alternates do you usually have?
2.
Well,
It's usually
3 now.
two, but
We have
it's 3,
now
yeah.
Because of
We
this
have
last.
3?
Yes,
You, Jody, and Laura are 3.
Yeah.
And when do your terms expire?
July of 26.
yeah,
So completely different time.
weird.
yeah,
Makes no sense.
I
It
know,
got messy with appointments when we were appointing, we kept getting pushed down the agenda.
Yes.
to the appointments.
correct,
This isn't a board necessarily that people come running and seeking to join.
Right.
Sometimes it takes us a little bit to find people. So I don't understand why we wouldn't just align it to the term. You would be appointed for the remainder of whatever the term is open for an
Yeah.
open seat. So now we have what, you said July?
July, correct.
and that was because we were bumped,
We
consistently
kept
bumped,
getting bumped for
Yeah.
our recommendations, people to our board.
Which, and to your point on that, it is difficult to get these seats filled to begin with. To the original question, how many other applicants were there that didn't get selected? for our
0.
board? Okay, so.
We found a role for every single person who applied
Yeah.
this last
Then-
time.
So
I
could
would-
we
And then Jim,
possibly,
John left.
yeah, make a
Please don't leave.
recommendation that her term doesn't go until July, it goes until the following March? Would you be
Yeah.
interested in that? Like extend? the
yeah, that
term?
way it can stays
Yeah, that would make
consistent,
sense.
yeah,
Do that, so at least we can square away that position, and then the new replacement for your position, because you're moving up,
correct,
would be a March, regardless of when it's
Yeah.
appointed.
Yeah.
Like March the following.
Yeah. and it's- Yeah.
On the
Yes.
same.
On the
It'd
same
make it a lot
cycle.
easier to
And
keep
then
track
would
of.
you stay until March?
yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Greatly appreciated.
Just
Sorry.
keep us consistent
Well,
now.
here's another question.
Water's warm, jump on in.
Our commission went ahead and voted in the third alternate seat. If after Val's expiration in December,
Oh, yeah.
expiration sounds terrible, could the board then decide to remove that third
They could.
seat to go back to the 2?
Correct.
So that
You
way
guys-
Val doesn't
Oh.
have to.
That's not a bad, I mean, 3 alternates seems like a lot on this board. I served on this board.
We did it
for
because we wanted all
14
members to
years.
be
It
on
Seems like
the
a
board.
lot.
We did it only because we liked everybody that applied, and we wanted to have everybody on.
And the numbers of attendance for people that were
Correct.
on the board were very low. We were struggling to get a
Correct.
quorum for like 3 months in a row. Just so everybody knows where I stand, I think Laura's done a tremendous job since
Yeah.
she's on board. I'm fully endorsing her with my vote to be the full-time or be a full-time member of the REC.
So then maybe I can still be done.
In December.
You guys-
If you can find a replacement for yourself.
I think I found one there. I have a brand new neighbor and she works
Yes.
at Austin House 17.
Awesome.
And she's officially a resident in town, and she's very excited to start participating in the
Oh, cool.
Bring her in and ask
Send her
her
along.
to-
Enthusiasm is coming tonight, but.
Cause then she
Yeah.
can put in for the alternate slot.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
Yep.
then what I would do is I would just make a recommendation to the board,
that
like,
it's.
Yeah.
that it would be
January until.
January to the March of
27.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yep.
you're only buffing her by a few months.
Yeah.
Exactly.
3 months,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, we're gonna
I
line
mean,
this up.
we could do the
We'll just
same
have it.
thing, I could
Yeah.
make the recommendation, the same thing with Laura, is that we push it out to March of
I
27.
would do the same.
I would do the same thing.
Because it's only a few months.
Right,
Yeah, why would
So
she
why
take
would I
it
go
for
through that whole
3
Well,
months?
if
Right.
Laura goes up, she's a 3-year term.
right, correct.
No, you said his term expired, it was a 1 year. That's why I asked.
The alternate seat is. I was referring to if she moves
Oh.
up, she then becomes a full seat, which is a 3-year term.
Right.
That was, yeah,
Right.
that's
So
what I was
if you
asking,
appoint
not
her as
term,
full-time,
not
then her term expires.
29.
Oh, that's
I mean,
well,
Nine.
right. The term ends in March, but whoever fills that seat
No, it's
in March will be a
26, so
3-year
you're
term.
at 29.
yes,
Yeah.
right,
So she would expire March of 29.
correct.
So she
If
would be
brought on for the full
appointed, but you would really be appointing her for 3 years and
3
5
months.
months.
3.25 years. Yeah.
Right. Just so that the cycle.
So
kinda-
she's back on regular schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
All
good.
right, so
Now,
back
how
to
many
our
people expire at the same time?
and so March of 26. I have Jim as his term expires. I have Laura as an alternate expires. Jody as an alternate expire. No, sorry, those are July. My apologies. Jim in March of 26, and then the vacant seat that we currently have is the other
And what's
March of
Ryan?
26. Ryan, I have him here as March of 27. So he's next year.
Yeah.
So it'd be Jim, and then the vacant seat are expiring this March.
You can make me into March if you want, either year.
Maybe we do that so that everybody stays on the same cycle.
Make it easier.
I wonder
if
why.
it was in
I think it
March.
would,
So
yeah,
what I would recommend, because I don't have a say in
So I
this,
wanna know why.
right.
is for tonight's sake,
Is there a
it
point?
sounds like there's a consensus to move or to recommend Laura as our,
Yes.
to fill our vacant seat.
Yeah.
So there should be a motion for that.
Right.
And then what we can do, is what I can do, is then organize who expires when and set the clock straight. So that way,
Correct.
if you're presenting it to the
Right.
select board, you have something saying, this is how long these terms would be. These are the adjustments that we need to make.
Like
We
your
can move forward.
alternate, hers is expiring in July.
Yes.
I would ideally like
To
to
make
move
her-
that to.
March.
27.
March of 27.
Yeah.
But we,
And then if you have a friend that comes in, I would say,
March of 27.
we're
We-
gonna
Yeah.
appoint her from December to March of 27.
Yeah.
now I think,
Or January 1st. Right?
correct me if I'm wrong, I think we need to approach this 2 ways. One is saying we want to nominate Laura as this person to fill the seat. And 2, this seat will then fill this way, because if the select board goes, we don't want Laura to fill that seat, we can still move forward with that seat filling that extended term.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Okay, well,
I'm pretty confident.
well, I'm just, yeah,
Make the motion.
whoever wants to do it.
Need a motion and
Motion.
a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against?
Anybody opposed?
There you go.
Alrighty, so there's our nomination.
Okay.
So I will bring that forward on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
I'm pretty confident that the board seems to be gelling right now, so.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
good.
good.
No problem.
That's a good thing.
All right, on to the biggest potato of tonight, the budget. Alrighty, so we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, geez, to talk this over, and we have made some corrections to the budget. This little fancy packet here I have for us hopefully breaks this down as well as we can for everybody. The very first budget you see here, the very far left was a 24 year. The right one that's been done in pen was a 25 budget. The next spreadsheet we have is the 2 proposed budgets that we have moving forward into 2026. The differences you're going to see here, and the reason I printed out last year's or this year's budget, 2025, is because it was brought to my attention that in our budget, the allocated funds for the program coordinator and the FICA Medcare that was appropriated was not reflected in our budget when we were given the budget. So when you look at the proposals, the salaries coordinator at 25,530 is what was appropriated for this year, and then what the department requested for 2026, that is now what my salary would be moving into 2026. And there's a sheet later that breaks that down period by period as to how we got that salary line. So it's gonna look a little weird. I apologize. But I kid you not, I was found out a day or two ago that that was incorrect. So we're learning on the go here together. Proposal A, the big things here that we are bringing is obviously the increase of the salary for the program coordinator. And there's a small increase to the FICA Medicare because of that increase. I did find out that the New Hampshire State retirement was slightly elevated. So by doing the correct maths there, that we were actually able to scrape off $256 on that line to set the correct number for the salaries of, for the director position. So that's just kind of cleaning up house there, making that all nice and smooth. Jim and I were able to look at our heating and oil and electric as requested, and we're able to determine that we're confident that we can remove $1,200 from our electric line if necessary, an additional $500 from heating and oil. And so proposal A just removes that $1,700 completely for our budget. Proposal B reallocates that $1,700 from those two lines and puts it into our land maintenance, which we overspend every single year. So there are two different avenues that I've brought to you. One that removes it to kind of cushion the increase, and then another one that just reallocates funds that we know we will spend because we overspend that line every year. So that's kind of where this is. If there's questions, I'll be more than happy. Hopefully all the supporting documents are in this little packet here for you guys.
What was the total land and maintenance spend? I know not the budget spend, but what did we actually spend on land and maintenance last year?
I unfortunately do not have that number.
Because we don't know.
Well, there's multiple factors. I don't have our bill from the town still. I was told that today should be the due date for that, but we're still waiting on the auditors, it sounds like. So I'm at the mercy of the auditors.
I'm sorry, can someone explain the auditors to me? I'm not up to date on all things town.
Say, Bob, if you don't.
So the auditors come in and they basically reconcile everything. Clearly, things have been foobarred. Best way to put it.
Okay, is that like an annual thing or something?
Yes,
we requested?
this is an annual thing that happens. ERA basically requires that we have to have this audit done. So they come in, and unfortunately, because of
Things.
how sloppy or fuzzy math things ended up getting, or bad checkbook keeping, I think things got kind of a little massaged out of the whack. So it's taken a little bit longer to organize because as they ask for information, they can't find it. Hence why you guys haven't been able to find your electric bill since October of last year. So,
Well, we were able to find the electric bill. That was, yes, we were able to rectify.
but there was some digging for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would have had it quarterly instead of a year
Yep.
later. So they were supposed to finish the audit,
Friday.
can't finish the audit. Now it's gonna be moved on till next week because they're still digging through stuff and requesting information, which is taking up a lot of time. But when you, like Julie's doing a great job, Stevens is doing a great job trying to find all that documentation and sorting through it. But she can't release some information until they say, yes, that's accurate, you can go ahead and release that.
Okay.
So-
Where we could have probably given it to you before, but now we can't.
Yeah.
Because now we're waiting for them to confirm that we're right.
Correct.
So I'm at the mercy of them. I'm also having some quick problems, and unfortunately Ambrose wasn't in this morning, so I was not able to
Do
touch
we
it.
have a ballpark? I wanna say it's in the
So-
figure of $20,000.
No, I don't think it's that much. From my conversations with Andy in the past, I believe it's usually between $12,000 to $15,000 is the total expense of what the rec department pays for land maintenance. I know our contract with lawn doctor, I'm confident was roughly around $7,000 something this year for just lawn doctor, which doesn't include other things like the infield work and stuff like that throughout the year.
Yeah,
So
like infield mix.
Yeah,
and
that was not included.
aeration,
Yeah.
And anything to do with the sprinklers.
well, that's irrigation. That'd be lawn doctor. So that
Lawn
should be
doctor does your irrigation too, huh?
correct.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, Hillside doesn't do the.
Hillside. I can never remember the difference. Hillside.
Hillside does the irrigation, or at least they used to.
I'm
Lawn
pretty
doctor
sure-
does like
I thought they were just
fertilization.
fertilizer, and that's why I was gonna say there's another
And
guy.
I
it
thought
might
is it-
do
maybe am I mixing it up?
I think you're.
Gary,
swapping
whoever
it.
Gary
Gary
from
is
Hillside. You're right. I
Yes,
apologize.
yes.
So our contract with Hillside was the $7,000.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that do the
That sounds
pH, the
about right.
irrigation. Whatever Hillside is, I don't have that number with me. And then whatever the cost of the infield mix, the raking,
Which
the
is usually about
dragging.
$3,000. And we do it
It's
every other.
something like it's a couple grand.
Yeah.
We'll,
it's a chunk
let's
of
say
money.
it's $3,000, so that's $10,000.
Not including whatever lawn doctor.
And then the fertilization, and then aeration, which we did do some aeration this year. And
That was we did aeration.
I'm thinking we're closer to 17.
It's
I
possible.
don't think it's 12. And the reason I'm asking is because we're asking for 55%, right? Is that $7,300?
Well, if we
Or
choose to
5600.
reallocate it, it would be closer to 50%. Correct. Currently, we only in our line we only have 5,600. Currently.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen. The
Yep, I apologize.
55% gets really scrutinized, so I want to make sure we're not exceeding it
I
with
see
our
what you're
budget line request.
Land maintenance does not. We do not have a split 55-45 for land maintenance. It's 100% on the rec budget, or whatever goes over that is out of the revolving account. The 55-45 split is for electric, heating, oil.
That's not my understanding.
Okay, I could be completely wrong, but to my
On that
knowledge, that's
line
what
item.
it is.
So
I thought because the fields and stuff get utilized, programs and stuff, I always thought it was 55-45.
I could be incorrect on that one. I'm learning a lot of this as I go, but to my
And
knowledge, I
this
thought
isn't
it
a
was.
criticism,
Sure.
Jason. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
literally like I'm trying to go through my historical memory of
No, you're
doing
fine.
this a million times.
Well, and looking at math, just simple math.
That's what
If
I'm
your
saying.
budget's sitting at 56,
Mhm.
and you know you shell out 12,
Sure.
Right.
See, I think we shell out more than 12. I think we shell out more like 17.
Well, my
so
year.
land maintenance, we've never actually hit the 55%.
Okay.
Historically,
Yeah.
we've never done that because we knew we couldn't get our overall budget passed. So we
Okay.
ate it more out of the revolving account. But if we're increasing it, I want to make sure we're still not going to exceed really the reality of 55%.
Right, if we're gonna go up,
That's
Right.
what-
So
get it right.
this year, the Hillside contract alone was $7,500.
yeah. That
So
Right.
we have
So that
overspent
makes
our
sense.
line item by $1,900 this
Right.
year for that line.
Yes, but you have to remember you're doing 55% math. So let me get out my
Right,
calculator.
Well, that does reflect that because if you look at our
That's
heating and oil.
7,000 If you do the 7,300.
well, not.
Sorry.
the
Well,
contract.
so if you look at the heating and oil lines, that's already been the money that's in our funds. That's already factoring the split. So it should be the same, I would imagine, for the land and facility
It
maintenance.
doesn't work. It's pie line item, is my understanding. That's always
that's-
how we've operated. It's 55% per line item.
Instead of
We
total.
can't sit and go, listen, we could overspend and we have to eat it from somewhere else. That's one thing once the books are closed, but I'm saying when you're going to the budget, we
Yeah.
were always told we couldn't exceed 55% of the thing. So if you're saying if it's 12,000.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the split. I apologize.
Not the split.
Okay, I
No,
misunderstood
no,
that.
I'm not worried about the split.
I heard
I'm literally
55.
worried about increasing one line item
Right.
over the others. Like, I don't know if it's worth it. Times 1.55.
You all care.
That's 6,600.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
It's gonna come up during discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
She's right, it's gonna come up.
So so 6,600 is 55% of 12,000. I'm really thinking we're higher than that on actual spend on
Mhm.
land maintenance.
Right.
But let's say 15,000 times. That's 8,250. So if we're closer to 15,000, then the new line item of 7,300 actually
It's fine.
is still under, and it would be fine. But
I see what you're saying.
this has gotten pulled apart in the past. That's why
Right,
I'm
so you
asking.
wanna
Right.
be able to
We want-
explain that when
Yeah.
we're there of,
And it's going to
So-
be more under scrutiny.
so I would almost say, you wanna make sure you're coming next Tuesday?
Yeah.
I wanna know what was your actual for land maintenance?
Sure.
Because then if you're saying, we're only asking for 73, it's substantial.
Yeah, and here's the, Jason, so land maintenance, you need to go, and I know you're having trouble with the QuickBooks. You gotta go through all of it, so it's irrigation,
Yeah, I know.
the drainage. Didn't we do drainage
That was
work?
impacts. That was impact
Yeah.
fees.
That was impact.
Okay. Anything else that's land maintenance, so if it doesn't hit electric heating,
Well-
sports, it's typically land maintenance or building maintenance. So, although we don't have a line for building maintenance. We have
Correct.
equipment maintenance, which covers nothing.
Our revolving account takes care of both.
Correct. So, and land facility we overspend the land maintenance line, but if we're close on that number, I'd rather go to land and facilities improvement if you wanted to take that.
So it's up to the commission. If we are concerned about how close that number is, then perhaps the best recommendation is we move forward with the option A, where we remove the funds, because I don't know if I'll be able to have those numbers ready by next week. I'm at the mercy of the auditors.
But you do that at the detriment to yourself, because if you
You're not
give a
gonna get it.
lower number, you're not.
Right.
I can't claw it back.
Yeah, I get you. So we're here stuck where we have to have a recommendation by Tuesday, and the auditors aren't in until Wednesday.
Yeah, because they have other stuff to do, because we're taking too long, so.
So,
I would,
or we try to see if we can table things.
I would
Listen,
be
if
pushing
we're-
for B. If I was gonna be pushing this thing, if you really wanted to come
And that-
Tuesday, you're gonna be asking for B.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I would
concession
prefer
would-
to. I would
the
prefer to.
concession
I don't
would
want to
be
lose money
A.
in my budget.
The
But-
concession would be A, because it's not real, I mean, the increase you have is still, you're still coming in a decrease, right?
Sorry.
Am I still seeing a decrease
In which one? A or
on your
B?
overall budget, B? What's this -9, -12?
No, that can't be right.
I'm gonna say it seems a little off, yeah.
We're still closer to
The
30.
salaries.
How did that get calculated?
This calculator was given to me. I did not make this, so if there's
a
errors.
formula error, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's something
Yeah.
wrong there.
We're still closer to a 37% increase.
But that's because you added the warrant
We
article.
added the warrant article.
So, I mean,
There's
that's,
no other
yeah.
increase besides that, so whatever that increase. is-
So it's gonna get scrutinized, but I'd rather go into a fight, verbal
Yeah.
agreement. I'd rather go into the battle with proposal B
Sure.
Yep.
and have them whittle me
Right.
down to A.
So
Correct.
I have a concession to do versus coming in going, I'm gonna start on A.
Yeah, right.
B is off the table.
sure.
And if they start beating this up because now I'm 37% increase,
So how hard is the select board going to look for this year's numbers? If I was to give 22, 23, 24, and we can look back saying
I
this
think
is
the one that's looking
historically-
at the hardest is probably me.
Okay. So, well, I'm
Yeah.
saying would those numbers
Yeah, and
satisfy
went-
you? Because I could
we
probably pull those
went
numbers up.
and came up with what we spent in 23 on land maintenance.
Substantiate.
Well, and
We're not
24.
gonna spend less than 2024.
No.
I doubt we
No.
spent less.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a decent baseline. I just wanna make sure a number
Sure.
of 7,300 is in line.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I can get potentially old numbers. It wouldn't be the most up-to-date numbers, but would that,
You're gonna come up with those, and
Something
if
to work
it's,
with.
yeah, yeah.
it's something to work with, and it gives me, I
Okay.
want some meat and potatoes.
No, I'm happy to get that. I wasn't sure if
So-
people are going to look at that and be like, these are
So
old numbers. I
get
don't want these.
historically, I don't care if you go back 3 years.
Okay.
And then you can actually do a calculation, well, 3 years ago it was this, 2
Then it
years ago it was
increased this
this.
percentage.
Right.
Last year was
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And
I've had an
estimate.
increase of 13% over year, so
Right.
now I can anticipate what the numbers would be, would
Right.
be 13% higher. This is
It's
how
just
I
easier to
justify
show
my
the-
numbers.
show
And again,
the
to that point, we need to make sure
progression.
the number is right, because if we come in under and need over, that's,
My computer's in
Yeah.
the car. I have it in an old spreadsheet.
Okay.
I'll just grab it.
Yep,
Okay.
Does
I
that
can
make
definitely do
sense?
that.
Yes.
No, I'm following you 100%. I can definitely get past numbers. Past numbers are easier than more recent.
Well, and it's just historically
because you're
being
being
able to
held
show
by
what
the
you
auditors,
got.
that's why.
Because I know, you saw the meeting.
Sure.
It's already contentious on what we're gonna be getting for budgets.
Sure.
Yep.
And I like numbers. I will play with numbers all
Sure.
day long.
Mhm.
So if I know that there's wiggle room,
Sure.
God help you.
Okay.
Because it's coming off.
So, going back to that, while we wait for Val, was there any other concerns, anything else about these budgets at all? It sounds like B is the favorable, but I
Yeah.
would like to hear from everyone because I know some people have been a little quiet.
I'm proposal A, because I just think the town did right by us and the people that voted for us to add the rec coordinator role. I think they did it under some scrutiny and whatnot, and people were in favor of supporting rec, and I just feel like we should do whatever we can to try and just cut little bits of money here and there if possible. And if that means, hey, maybe we have to bump up some of our fees on some of the programs to cover the cost, if there's an overrun on maintenance, then maybe we have to look to do that. So I just am in favor of saving the money on the electricity and the oil, because I think we're spending less than that this year. And I'd say we probably will be under the numbers that are allocated there for next year, or at least right in the same ballpark. So I'd try and save the town a couple $1,000s. That's how I look at it. But I'm fine with everybody else looking at it the other way, and your vote is majority over mine.
Okay. So, going back to that, while we wait for Val, was there any other concerns, anything else about these budgets at all? It sounds like B is the favorable, but I would like to hear from everyone because I know some people have been a little quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fine with everybody else looking at it the other way, and
Do you have a story to tell about why you need a full-time director? Because that definitely came up last night. There was definitely concern about, could you go part-time? So I think you need a really good story, or,
Yeah,
So-
before we go that route, though, we're done with the electricity and the oil, right? Like I said, my side, everybody's on the other side. We don't need to talk about that side anymore, that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that the department needs a full-time director. Andy went to the town asking for me, well, not for me, but for the part-time coordinator, because he himself was saying that he was swamped and it was not capable, the department was not capable of operating at the level that the taxpayers wanted to continue elevating things by himself. I think personally, I think that by removing that, that's going to see a decrease. And based off of what the taxpayers voted for in the spring, I think that's the opposite of what they'd asked for. In terms of numbers, I don't have anything with me for that. We can go back into spreadsheets, things from presentations from last year that we used to get the secondary position. I have said that the department could run at a lower capacity with fewer staff, but the climate I'm getting from the town is that that's not the direction the town wants this department to go. I've been having meetings with the Three Ponds Development. They're looking for more interaction with us as senior programming. People in town, our cricket programs is increasing, it's ramping up. Our field hockey program is ramping up. I was on the phone 20 minutes the other day while Jim was in my office with our field hockey coach, because they want to see if they can elevate things next year because of how well it's doing right now. I just see everything pointing towards people want more from us, and by having a part-time director, I think that's the opposite. That's my personal.
I'm going to speak to this as well. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of, I've watched a select board meeting twice, once last night and once this morning. And I'm going to be honest, there's a very small echo chamber in our town who wants to remove and slowly decrease recreation. It's a known fact. Someone last week came into my face and told me that, right to my face. We need to decline recreation. We need to pull programs. And I literally looked at this person and I said, first off, you need to kind of back it up a little bit. We can't do that. Our town, for so many years, I've been here almost 17 years, has always had a full-time recreation director. I know there's people,
We did have.
at one point, yeah, eons ago.
We
Just
part-time about 12 years ago.
Yes, correct. The town wanted a full-time recreation director, so there's been a full-time recreation director. Some of my concerns, I was a little disturbed by the meeting last night on some of the recommendations, I'll be honest with you, because for as long as I've been here in Brentwood, I have seen people poo-pooing on recreation. Recreation is always the one who's left on the back burner. Recreation is always the one who's pushed to the back. And, oh, well, we can't get to you on this agenda. We have to push you out. We have to push you out. And I've watched it for a very long time, and I don't think it's acceptable at all. Our town is growing, and our community is growing. Whether people want to accept that or not, am I all for saving? Yes. Do I want to see my tax dollars go up? No, but there are people requiring more programs. I even had this discussion with Andy before he left. There's a lot of things that we wanted to do for recreation for folks who have been inquiring about it from all age groups, not just families. Three Ponds, they've been talking to Three Ponds. They want to kind of come in and start being a part of the community as a whole.
Just mathematically, you say it's growing?
No, I know what you're going to say because you're the numbers dude. I totally get that. I totally get it.
4,400 people,
Yes,
4,700.
I understand that.
300 people
Yep, I know that.
in the last 12 years.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that. Nope, I totally get that.
I'm
And
just putting that out there.
yeah, and I totally
It's a 30.
totally get that. I totally get that. But I've always been someone who's done a lot in the town. I've been on multiple committees. I run a lot of things around here with the daddy-daughter dance, and I hear it from dads, moms, I talk to a lot of people in town. A lot of people in town know me, and they all say the same thing. we can't afford to do this. We can't afford to go to AAU. We can't afford to go to Seacoast United. We love rec. We love rec. Please keep rec. I've been hearing that people want to take away programs.
How's the daddy-daughter dance been growing over the years?
Yes, so it's been significant to the point that we now are over at Grace Ministries because we need it to be
I was gonna say, that's-
in a larger
that's no longer
platform.
a rec program.
It is not, it never was a rec
Really?
program,
It is something-
actually.
It was like the Peach Project where it was hosted at rec. but
Yes, it
not
was never a rec
operation.
program.
Who's rec sponsored?
It was
Are they still
sponsored.
doing the Peach program or not?
No, this year they
Yeah,
decided to move.
they went
for-
somewhere.
I believe they're doing a
We're
food.
doing something different.
Oh yeah, Val's a perfect person
I serve
person
on
to
that
speak.
What are you doing this year?
It's not finalized.
Shh,
Well, there was an
secrets,
email
It's
that
not,
went
it's
out.
not ready for public discussion, is that what you're saying?
An email's been sent out, it's not out there yet.
Why don't we do a
couldn't
Jeep
use the-
Fest with, just we'll
Couldn't
let you
do
bring the
the
Raptor?
trails,
Yeah.
Anymore, the trails were
Right.
becoming unmanageable, plus we lost a lot of people are doing lit winter walks, so we lost some audience last year, so we're
Yeah.
revamping. I believe it's gonna be primarily focused on school, which was.
I love that.
It was run by the kids,
Yeah.
the teenagers ran that, and that's actually the whole mission of the project is to teach kids volunteerism and not a bunch of adults doing a bunch of work.
Yeah.
So we're shifting back towards that model
Awesome.
and finalizing details.
So in my final comment,
Go.
because of last night, I've got news for you. For 17 years, I've worked with trying to get volunteers to do stuff here in town. And it all sounds great on paper until you say, hey, are you coming to the event tonight? Sorry, I can't make it. I got a date night with my husband. Sorry, I'm going on vacation. I can't do it. It's been that way for years. I love volunteerism. I've been volunteering forever in different things. It is not attainable. People will say they'll do it and they won't. So that's why, I mean, I am in full support of, I've always been in full support of a full-time rec director. If there's things that need to be tweaked, I think that we can, but I want people to understand rec always seems to be the department that gets picked on the most. And I just want people to be aware that the programs are coming, the programs are here, people are loving it, no matter what their age is. And I think we want to grow our community. I think we want to be able to make money for our community. I think our town would benefit from it. There's a lot of smart minds in this room that can come up with a lot of things to help rec succeed and help people be able to come together as a community. So that's where I'm at with that.
To piggyback off of that, and I want to state that I am in agreement that I believe we should have a full-time director for this role. I think it gets lost a lot, the fact that this is not just a youth sports program. There's a lot more to it than that, between a haunted walk that we no longer have, which I have anecdotally heard over and over again.
Well, for
town
this
is-
year, yeah.
Right, but the town is unbelievably disappointed we don't have that. We're losing the Peach Project. Things like the 4th of July parade, people want more and more of that, and I hear it constantly. And to lose those things because we don't have the manpower of not having a full-time person in there, it is neglecting our town and what we have put into a warrant article that we voted for, in my opinion.
Can I add that, yes, I agree with everything that you said about the programming, but the one big factor that always gets left out is people think rec is just sports. This is also one of the largest properties, if not the largest property in town, and has multiple buildings on the property. So not only is the director responsible for all the programming and the signups and the communications and the coordination, it's also the maintenance of the building, rentals of the building, which is a revenue generator for the town, and rental for the fields, plus the maintenance. It's a massive piece of property, and the only thing the town does from a town employee perspective to maintain it is has it mowed. Everything else is coordinated by our rec director. I've served on this board for a very, very long time. I was here when it was part-time. When it was part-time, we had soccer, basketball, and baseball. That's it. Yes, it could have been done, and we rented it very little, and we had a couple field rentals. We've grown the potential of the building, the potential of the property over the years. We've had one person doing it, with the exception of when we finally got the part-time summer camp, and then we've expanded it. There's too much demand on that massive piece of property. Every time we have to replace something like a furnace, it's not that, it's not, Wayne Robinson and the highway department and the building inspector. It's the rec director going out and soliciting through bids. And we're following all this process. It's a big facility to maintain. They spend a ton of time getting bids. So it's more than that. And the idea was we can have, first of all, we wholeheartedly need a full-time rec director. We need the part-time rec director too. I mean, the part-time program coordinator, so that the rec director can maintain the building. That harness doesn't go this long without being replaced. You know, there's too much over there for one person. I mean, it's bigger than the library. We serve, the numbers prove we serve more people than the library, hands down. And we have, the town has to support what they need for the building and the
Could
facility.
you,
Or the town needs to take over all the maintenance of that building and take that out of the rec directors.
We also do a large percentage of our own finances too. I know that's something that I've had to learn how to do that. I write checks, deposits every single week. That's
Mhm.
all.
could you put together, and I would recommend you do this before coming to Tuesday's meeting, a list of all the programs you have?
We already have that.
Have that?
Yes.
So-
We use that as justification for this my position in the spring.
Well, I want to use it not only for your
Yeah, but
position.
we can-
I
well,
wanna
that's what I'm saying, we have
justify
it,
the
yeah.
full-time position too,
Right.
right? I have to justify it.
No, I get you. So I'm saying we
So,
have it because of that.
Give me, like, here's the list. Oh, and on the way, this is the summer. This is primarily what the program coordinator focuses on, but we have to start here, and this is why you're doing part-time. It's just you have to justify the existence, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so but last night, Bob, I did hear you at the meeting say that you were up in the air as to whether or not we needed a full-time role. And I was just curious, like, where you are the representative for us, what information are you looking to gather to determine that decision? Because I would prefer to have a select board rep who like listens and asks the board, because we had a meeting last Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't ask us if we needed a full-time person at that meeting. So I didn't know if like you went to last night's meeting and knew you were going to be asked that question or not, and were non-committal. So that bothered me a little.
Well, the reason I would question that is because I know Jason had come before us before, and he was saying, I think I can make it work on part-time. So I'm kind of like, do we need part-time or full-time?
Isn't that why Jason withdrew his candidacy though? Because he knew it would potentially sacrifice.
Candidacy to me, right?
Well, I wrote an email to the select board saying I
To
was
Paul,
withdrawing.
right.
Well, to the select board.
And I still don't even know how many candidates we have.
Me neither. But what I do want to clarify is when I said that I could do it as a part-time, I did it. Every conversation I had with Jim Mishu, with the board, I was saying that it would not be a one-to-one comparison for the current department. I do want to specify that. I was not saying that I could do everything right now as a part-time director. There were going to be sacrifices.
If I can save money for the town, I can tell you that's where my focus is going to be. If I can justify a full-time and a part-time, then yeah, I will go there and battle for that.
Yeah.
Just give me the ammunition that I need to go in there.
Well, I just want to make that clarification because I know it was brought up at last night's meeting as well that there was somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying that Jason said that he could do it at part-time, but it was left out that I could not do it at the same capacity. If I was to go through with my proposal and the select board was to do it, there were going to be cuts on programs and offerings to reflect the time that was lost.
And so since you've already done that exercise, give me a list of the programs that you could do. And then I want devil's advocate, right? Like, by the way, if we did go to part-time, we would lose all these.
Well, that would be up to the individual. I couldn't speak as to what that person would want.
Possibly, we would lose these. This is the downside, right? So what's the upside? What's the downside?
What-
What I'm getting at is that the individual who fills that seat could say, I want to get rid of senior programs, or I want to get a, they would have the decision as to
Senior's
what.
huge.
Well, I agree, but I'm
opportunity
saying,
for you guys.
I agree.
Yes,
And that's
it
what
is.
But you
we've
can
been
make it-
working on trying to cater
You
to
can
that.
make an educated guess. You can say, these are the kinds of programs, if it were me, these are the kind of programs. He's giving, like, this is a process. He's just told you, this is what you have to do. So, like, this is helpful. This is a really good process. So now we have to put the business report together of why we're the value, which you guys
And we already have that.
you just said it so
Because we
great, the
just did
four
it,
of you,
yeah.
right, you should all be here, because
Yeah.
you right down the line. That was great. But then he's telling you, add all your programs, which you said you have.
Yep.
What would, and if the part-time job was there, what would likely, or what could possibly
This
go
would
away?
be the
Something,
sacrifice.
this is what I would do.
Sure.
If it was me, I would cut these things because this is what we have time for. It doesn't mean that's what the person would do, but you're telling them this is a likely scenario is these kinds of things would be cut.
We would have to sacrifice this, but
You want to say?
the other thing too is how much are you generating for like some of those programs? Like I know there's
Our summer camp's a great example. It's
Yeah.
it's 8 weeks of the summer, but it generates almost $50,000.
Mhm.
I brought it from
Correct.
four, and I'm bragging about this one. When I started as a summer camp director, we were bringing about 4,000, and I've been able to get it in generating 48,000. That's pre,
That's huge.
that's pre,
Mhm.
you know, paying staff and stuff like that. So I think we average about 20, 25 somewhere in there.
I would
So
take it a
it's
step
huge.
further, is that what you give people is a incredibly affordable
It's very,
option,
Correct.
because
Anywhere
I know what my grandchildren pay for their 2-day summer camp,
Mhm.
and it's like
astronomical.
If you go to-
$1,700
if you
a
go to Action
week.
Kids
Yeah.
for summer camp, it's
Right.
almost $3,000 for
Yes.
full summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our camp, it's $900 for a resident to go there.
Yes.
And we're working on getting scholarship programs for residents who can't
Correct.
afford
I
that.
think you guys are still cheaper than Exeter.
We are.
Very
We
much
are.
so.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
When Andy and I
And you
set
don't
the
have a
rates, we
pool.
look at the nearby.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do factor that, but we look at the nearby areas and say, all right, given what we have, what can we reasonably charge? And we've always tried to, whether it's sports, programs, events, we've always tried to be on the more affordable side because we recognize that not everybody can go to
Correct,
the
yeah.
top end stuff.
I would also like to make a statement, but I guess more so ask a question because I wasn't on the commission last year. And speaking of making compromises,
Mhm.
originally when the warrant article was brought into play and even being discussed before it was brought to the town,
Mhm.
we were looking for a second full-time
Correct.
person.
Correct.
And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was not brought to the floor because we knew that that was immediately going to get shut down by the town. And we made the compromise to flip that to a part-time position in hopes that it would get passed.
And I can almost quote Andy on this one. Andy said,
Yeah.
I would rather get some help
Yes.
Then nothing.
Then no help at
that
all. Yes.
He was stressed the fact that he
Yeah.
was desperate for help. In the
So
department.
as a board, you guys made the decision to do part-time.
Correct.
we made an
Proposal.
amendment. the
We
week
we
before
pulled
the
it to make
meeting
it
saying,
part-time.
We're gonna put this
Fortunately, I
in.
didn't have to do the meeting. I was sitting.
Yeah.
in
We
St.
were
Martin.
reading.
You were.
I was in St. Martin going, oh, that sucks. You guys. This is the first town meeting I missed in 20 some odd years.
we read the climate of the meeting and we said this is not going to pass at full time. So we made the
Okay.
amendment as a department to go ahead and get something in this department for
Right.
additional help today.
One-
So, sorry, that's my ramble.
I did want
I
to
know
get
you
back
wanted
to you. I
to,
did
too.
open my computer, so it looks like we spent about $10,000 in 2023. I only had 2024 year to date, whatever this was.
Okay.
And I'm sure we were waiting on a bill because it was
Yep.
October.
Right.
So,
Yep.
So just to put that out there, so I do.
Well,
think
can we
need-
break it out by month? Because you only
No,
have 10
all I
months, no?
have is- This is a spreadsheet that I
Oh.
created based off profit and loss
Mhm.
last year, going back
Okay.
to 2000. One thing I'd like to highlight that maybe some newer people to the board don't understand of what the town doesn't pay for, okay? So facilities repair in 2023, there was no budget for it. We spent $5,782 on facilities repairs in 2023. The field and land maintenance at the time was budgeted for 3,200, and we spent 9,520, so just under 10 grand.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so the toilet and portable toilets, which we did increase the line, but in 2023, we had budgeted $700 and we spent 1,449. So the delta comes out of the revolving account. That's how it works. There was a facilities line of other for 210,000. There was a training line was budgeted for 500. The department paid we paid $1,449. So 949 delta came out of the revolving account. Some other just interesting stuff so you can see. Facilities repair then was $500 budgeted. We had spent $1,100 on it. So a delta of $600 that came out of the revolving account. Another big line item was we were paying wages to the part-time, right, at the
Me.
time. So that was $14,000 that came out of the revolving account. There was another community center line for $507. Another big one is the recreation van that is not funded at all by the town of Brentwood. Or excuse me, it's not funded out of the budget, I should say. So when we originally purchased it, I think we used
Impact fees.
impact
Right.
fees. And then from there, we pay all the maintenance, all the repairs on it. And that year, we must have done something big because we spent $4,229 on it. So out of the.
Is that,
revolving-
that's not in the budget?
No.
No.
There's no
No.
budget for a vehicle.
And you still have
appropriated
that?
The van was purchased in 2019.
We still have that.
Yeah, it's at the.
Is it-
it's at the
You always
highway
leave it at, oh, the
That's-
highway shed.
We
Yeah,
leave
when-
it at the highway shed because of like plowing mowing and security, we don't want to leave it at the rec center, so it's safer at the highway.
Well, have you guys fixed the security on that little, whatever shed thing is that you have out there, the thing with the garage? That I
I
can always
believe
pop open if I want to get in there?
I believe the heights on the van is too high to fit in those garage.
No,
bays.
but, because now I put my security hat on. I know when the lights have been left on before, I can walk over and pop it open and turn the lights off myself.
Oh, in
So
the garage.
have you guys addressed the security? Because I know I brought that up before. And then who pays for that? Has that been paid
That
by
would
you
have to
guys?
Come out of the revolving account, there's no budget for it, so that's what I'm saying, so when we go to the town and we say, we're looking for this salary, that's all we're asking for, we're asking for salary, right? Which.
Well, the majority of your budget is salary. So.
It's almost all salary, everything else to the.
That you see, that's their point. So that's another piece you're gonna wanna have in a really simple chart, is last year we spent X, this much came from the town, so your town dollars of X got you this much in service.
So if you
That's
look at-
powerful. That's
yeah,
really, really
if you look
powerful.
at the numbers, and if you can just, I don't, it's gonna be hard for you to fill in this, because we can't get our books, we can't do this, right?
Yeah.
And we would have maintained this, but we didn't have our bill for a year.
Yeah,
So.
I agree.
I'm gonna update it
The
slightly.
historical numbers, right? So the 2023 budget was $87,000. We actually spent $121,000, so $34,000 came out of the revolving account.
Right.
That's significant.
It is, very much so.
And you go back, this is historical, year over year over year. It was less than 2022 and 2021 are weird because those are COVID years. But even when you go back, to 2019, like, we're spending money. So that's the bigger story is, yes, we are asking for an increase in salary, but we have one of the largest facilities in town that is, there's way more to this. And then I would propose to you guys as a board that if they're gonna try and cut this to part-time, then all the land maintenance facility needs to be done and handled by the town, other town employees then. Because you can't run programs and run a prom.
And it's probably cheaper just to have that person.
Right.
The other person you need is from your senior committee. You need a really good speaker from your senior committee to talk about all the seniors that are affected by all the programming you do. That's the next person.
Jody.
You guys do yoga.
Jody.
You guys do yoga and all that other stuff over there still, right?
Correct.
Our
the rest of it,
senior
yeah.
community.
We have
Senior luncheon.
the luncheon we just had was great in November. That
We
was
had, what was it, 38 people.
38
Yes.
people.
It's been running 15, 14, 15.
Mhm.
I started advertising. I started talking to people. I say, these are great luncheons. A couple of the movers and shakers in our community got hold of it, started talking to their friends. And all of a sudden, we have 38 people. They were bringing
It
in
was
extra
amazing.
chairs.
I know.
And I decided maybe, I mean, we do this for free.
I was like,
Andy
zero cost to
insists we
residents.
wanted to do it for free.
Yeah.
I said, well, people have been asking me, how much? And so I made a little can up with a little turkey on it and said, donations. I don't know how much money got in that
We
donation.
got $90. We split it between the Historical Society and ourselves.
We split it with the Historical Society.
Correct.
So people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, they were willing to pay. It was a wonderful luncheon.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and it's probably one of the best ones we've had. Some of that is getting the word out, talking to people,
Yeah.
saying, this is a great program. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. Why do you want to try it? I'll take you. I'll
Yeah.
take you with me the next time.
But Jody, can you come to the next select board meeting and talk about, from the seniors' perspective, why it's important to have a full-time rec director?
Yeah.
From the senior perspective? Like, that's what you want to nail the
Yeah, I was
message
going to
down
come to
really
the
quick.
budget committee meeting, but I had another meeting.
No, that was
Yeah.
canceled this week, right?
It's-
I think you're referring to last week's one, the one that we
Yeah.
had for discussing.
In September, I was away, but
Yeah.
I really think that a lot of these, especially some of the programs that the seniors do, I've gotten like probably 15 or 20 people coming to bingo. And they say,
Yeah.
bingo's for old people. I say, oh, no,
No,
it's
it
not.
isn't.
It's a lot
It
of
is
fun.
not.
Right.
I
And
love
guess what?
bingo.
They're fantastic prizes.
Yeah.
They gave away a $25 gift certificate to Market Basket. They said, oh, that's good.
There you
That's
go.
just a little plastic flower in a vase. I said,
Yeah.
no, this is a good program.
Yep.
And once they come, then the great thing is they meet other people.
Yep.
And then you have a group. Are you going? Well, I didn't know where I was going to go. Well, come on, I'll pick you up. We'll go.
Yes,
And
that's great.
it's
Are you
a lot
still
of fun. I'm
doing,
already talking about
casino
Christmas.
Or whatever that thing.
We,
already got a table
we haven't
of
done one in a
12
while, but
for
we.
Christmas.
Because that's what you guys got the van for, isn't it?
Well, originally it was for
use
summer
it-
camp, was
Right,
primary
it's
for
for
trips
summer
and stuff
camp.
like that, but we
But
used
have
it.
used it for
We
senior
have done it for
trips,
short.
Tons of them.
We've done trips aside from casino trips, so I
Yeah.
did like I drove one to Pickety Place up north. We did filled the van on that one.
But you got like the brook, right? Like,
Yeah.
We've done the Brook.
Right.
I did a
never
couple of
been there,
those
but I know
trips.
you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, it's in
Yep.
Seabrook.
They've gone over there too, yeah.
We've done several different trips with that.
They
Some are
collaborated with
lower
the
attended than
Historical
others.
Society, went on a historic trip.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
So
You're not using it for White Christmas just because of the parking situation and dropping people off. And
we have used it for right in the past for
Right.
Peach. We've used the van in the past for Peach Project to help shuttle
Yeah.
people back and forth. So there's multiple uses for that van.
Yeah.
But I'd say the primary reason was for summer camp because that saved us a lot of money.
For the
on
fall
bus
paddle,
costs.
you took us all back.
Yeah, we use it
to
for
our
fall paddle
cars.
to shuttle
That
people
was
as well.
great.
Yep.
And some of the other trips we've done, like we were having to charter buses before, so it was,
Yeah.
we're not spending that money.
Yeah.
And it made programs more affordable, so the senior trips, if we had to charter a bus every time, it's very expensive to charter a bus. And we got to make it, so yes, there's still a cost to the trips, but it made it, an affordable cost for those who are on fixed incomes. Like, that's our audience, a lot of them are on fixed incomes.
Yeah.
And same with
try
summer
to make
camp.
affordable programming for them.
A single bus for a single day for summer camp was 600 and plus change.
Yeah.
So, and you do that, each week you have a trip, that's now 8 weeks, that's $4,800 that you have to make up somehow, and you're putting that on your consumers. So we're able to get that van with impact fees, and we've been able to reduce that cost now. I'm pretty sure this last go around, we actually reduced slightly the cost of summer camp because we were able to make things work. So we've been able to make things work on the revolving account, but we do, as Val mentioned, we do cover a lot of the costs.
So I think those are beneficial things. If you if you come before us, make sure you have enough to hand out.
Yes, get all those
It's always one of my
copies.
pet peeves when somebody comes and they got one piece of paper and
You
then,
share
Yeah.
it all around.
Oh, no.
here's what I have. Thanks. Now I gotta guess. Let me write notes down.
Jason, I know it's gonna be work, take the spreadsheet from, and update it, because it shows, I don't know if you wanna look at it, this is what I've done. So it goes through and it gives.
So
you-
I was able to update. So here's the
That's
problem I
what
was
we
running
presented
into.
last year.
I was able to update a section or a large section of
Good.
the spreadsheet. The problem I'm facing, and I texted Julie this. For some reason in QuickBooks, the income section is all screwed.
Yeah.
So
Let's just focus on the costs and not the profit and loss.
so most of that I was able to fix.
Yeah.
There were a
Leave
couple.
out the P and L and just, we can talk to
Okay.
the town and say the town didn't handle the books for a year.
All right.
But if
And
you
I'll
go-
back you up on that.
Yeah.
Because I've been pumping my chest on that since I got back on the board
Okay, so,
5 weeks ago.
but
Yeah.
Bob, does that tell the story?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, and we had the PowerPoint, so update the PowerPoint,
Right.
like all this stuff, it should be fairly reusable, show the numbers again, right? We serve a ton of people, on a Saturday, there's 2,000 people there.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that I felt was a challenge when Andy was living an hour away was that he's trying to work Monday through Friday. And then come Saturdays when our busiest days, we have the fields or any of the facilities that are being used. Especially if you start to think about trimming down to just one FTE or a part-time, we're not gonna have representation there from an administrative standpoint when there's a litany of situations that can arise that I don't want parents trying to sort these things out, there's disagreements. You put volunteer coaches in positions to have to play referee that they're not equipped for or shouldn't be on the hook for, things of that nature. So when we think about making maybe too drastic cuts, we also got to remember that we need coverage on the weekends as well when a lot of these programs are being executed.
Right.
So yeah, not only the quantity but the quality
Right.
will be impacted.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, soccer season, fall's our busiest time over there, if you
Spring and fall.
Right.
100%.
spring and fall, they're ridiculous, and having the ability to have staff over there has been huge, and we never had that before.
Right.
Even when we were part-time before, then to full-time, it wasn't until we had the additional, position and a half where we were able to staff on Saturdays, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to support it, right?
I do believe in the justification that you are asking for. It's something that I was asking Andy to do as far as like putting together what takes however long, so on and so forth. And I know that they did come with numbers and the PowerPoints that you're mentioning. I just don't intimately know how much analysis that he did in order to make certain justifications, but.
You guys did a work analysis. You
Yeah.
went through and did that at one point.
Yeah, he wrote it.
What's
Yeah.
what's this?
What he
Working on
spent
this?
each hours on.
I know
things that-
Andy did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not get caught into the weeds on those, because I think here's my thought, sometimes I give them too much information,
Right.
and then it's easy for me to start slashing.
Mhm.
And then it's not me doing an analysis of the overall what's needed for that department. It's an analysis of, well, I don't think you need this. Now it becomes somebody's nickel and diming me, and they're just
Yeah.
$5 here, $20 here, and then they start getting into the weeds.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Exactly,
Yep.
right? And then now try to back out of that.
Yeah.
You can't. Once you dump your laundry,
Mhm.
Sure.
I get to sort through the underwear.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
right?
It's true, but and
Right?
the other thing
now
too
I'm
is
gonna
like,
start going, ooh, what are these?
but
Keep it high
Just
level,
leave
keep it
that
pointy.
tab for the year-over-year P&L, but don't just say we can't do it because of the budget, but we can do the cost. We at least
Yeah.
have some of those numbers.
The expenditures I have access to. I know there's a few lines that look a little screwy when I was looking at them because like for concessions, it was showing the number wasn't anywhere near what I know I've spent on concessions alone
Because you
this year.
swiped the card and you were
I swiped the
there,
card, yeah. So there's a few lines where I was like, huh, that looks a little weird.
Mm.
But I think for the broad picture, I think it should be still okay.
I think the other thing that Rec has always been good with, and you actually agreed with us last week, is that we've pretty much always kept our budgets tight. Maybe a tweak here, a tweak there, but it's never been anything like astronomical where we're like, oh my God, we got to pull that thing out because that's just like way too much. I think we're pretty good at keeping things
Perfect
tight.
example is what you did with Plan B, right?
Right.
Shaved off here, but then you said, we're always overspending on that, we're
Reallocate.
moving it there.
Mhm.
And then if you look at it, and if it's supposed to be 55-45, it's really flipped even worse.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are paying 60, we're paying 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to look at. So now I can justify why I'm going with Plan B.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you're looking at our budget here for 2026, I mean, it says here salaries alone are $100,000. If you add in FICA Medicare, that's another. I'm rounding up another $16,000. So of our $135,000 budget, salaries staff alone is $116,000.
That's our budget.
So you have
Right.
$19,000
But the other stuff
that
is
fits
minimum.
into everything
Right.
else.
Right, well, and
Yeah,
it's
there's
always thump your chest where you can, right? So, hey, we raised this much,
Yeah.
and by raising this much, it only costs you guys this much. So,
Yeah.
so overall, like, if I was doing a presentation,
Sure.
I'm gonna throw up just a few numbers. I'm not gonna give everyone a bunch of meat and potatoes. They're gonna kill me on it. So what I would do is I would say, this is what the budget was in 2023. We brought in this much, so the total amount that we spent with expenditures and the budget was this.
Mhm.
But you guys, we made this much, so we offset that. So so let's say just easy numbers. Let's say you're at 137,000, and let's say with revenue and everything else, you had $200,000 with everything coming in of what was spent. But you guys end up spending 50 grand of that. Well, that means that we didn't have to appropriate $50,000 for that.
Sure.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
They paid for themselves.
Correct. Yep.
If you tell me that, it's like the building inspector, code enforcement.
Right.
Are you making us money?
Mhm.
Are you offsetting? If he brings in 200,000 and I only spend 100,000,
Save money.
it's worthwhile for me to have him doing what he's doing.
Mhm.
And if the next year he brings in 110 and it still costs me 100, all day long, I will jump and be happy with you. The town clerk office, they bring in millions of dollars. Okay, you guys wanted 3%? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
You're bringing in more money.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling, the dog licensing, they're
Registration.
doing all that other stuff,
Right.
registrations, and
Yeah.
all that other stuff that goes along with it. And then you have idiots like me that have 6 cars, right? So they're taking care of all that stuff. So those are the things that I think, pound your chest on that. Come in and say, this is the reason why we need full-time and a part-time person, or, 1.5 people, is how I would word it. I need 1.5 people, and this is the reason I need 1.5 people. I have 40 programs that we offer throughout the year. I bring in a revenue of $100,000 and we spend $200,000 overall, but I'm only asking you for 137. It's a win-win. Thanks. Close the book and walk away. And then wait for the motion. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
It does. It does.
It's literally just call it dressing the pig for the fair, right? You're dressing the pig for the fair.
So, budget-wise, is there anything else budget-wise that needs to be discussed? I know, Ryan, you kind of hopped in late, so are there any questions that you have?
None.
Anybody else questions or comments? Do we want to make a motion as to which budget we would like to push forward on Tuesday the 28th to the select board?
What do you recommend?
I would like to see the B, because it makes sense. You don't, business-wise, you don't want to lose money from your budget.
Correct.
You want to keep what you have. Losing it, as much as it's a sacrifice, I know that the town would appreciate. Business-wise, I think it's a smart thing to do, is to keep what we have.
I can also tell you that I would recommend B.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, if Wayne Robinson comes to the town, he says he needs $400,000 for roads, is he gonna get it?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because Wayne and I way.
Or why?
Nobody else knows anything about roads.
No, that's not why. Why?
Because it's a
Because we
necessity.
need the roads.
Well, it's-
Because Wayne
he knows his
is
numbers.
respectful about his numbers.
He is. He knows
He's
his
not a
numbers.
greedy pig.
Correct.
If somebody becomes a greedy,
Yeah.
sorry, I have analogies for
I
everything.
love these.
If
I
somebody's a
enjoy
greedy
this.
pig,
Yeah.
what happens to a greedy pig? It becomes fat.
Right.
When I have a greedy fat pig, I bring it to slaughter. I like bacon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad thing to be.
Yeah,
Just
Wayne
don't
always
be a
knows
greedy
his
pig.
numbers.
Wayne is like, I remember when he was on the police department. He was like,
Mhm.
you know what? We really don't need another cruiser. Really? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're not gonna get the cruiser this year. We're fine. When they built the fire station, yeah, we're fine in the police station we're in right now. I'm good. I don't need. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
So people trust when he comes forward. So if you come in with a reasonable budget, and I think this is reasonable, right? It's not, you guys aren't asking for the moon. If you came in and said, I need 4 people, I need this, I'm gonna do this. Good luck to you. I'll lean back real in my chair. No one's gonna hear my microphone. It's gonna be off. I'm gonna be like,
Okay.
Yeah.
sucks to be you. So if you can come in and substantiate what you have, do it. And then you're also building that trust
Yeah.
for this department.
Right.
And once people get that trust behind you, literally, I know Wayne could come in here and say, unfortunately, I need a $300,000 thing. And people are going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
trust what he's telling them is factual
Correct.
and it's true. Versus somebody that comes in and says, yeah, this person left, they were $100,000. We brought somebody in at 50, but now I need a 64% increase.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Give me the hammer. Knock some sense into something.
Yeah.
So I think if you come in reasonable, you're not being greedy, people see that.
Sure.
And then we'll move forward. Not only are you selling it to the select board, it's then got to get sold to the budget committee.
Sure.
Once it passes that hurdle, and hopefully the budget committee and the select board are on the same page,
Mhm.
because when they're not on the same page, town meeting sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're on the same page, then don't forget, then we have to sell it at the town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ultimately who's voting on all this. But they're gonna have faith that they believe that the budget committee's done their due diligence and the select board's done due diligence by reviewing what you've sent them. And if it's reasonable, you're set.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly that happened last year with the part-time position.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Andy made a right decision on it.
Yeah. He did.
He wasn't greedy. If he was greedy and said, give me 2 people, they cut it down to 1, I win. Well, good luck to you, because now nobody trusts you, and they're gonna
Right.
beat the living daylights out of you for the next 10 years.
Well, I just gonna disagree with that, because I'm the one that made the amendment, and I didn't make the amendment because I didn't think we needed 2 full-timers. You guys kind of hinted at that earlier. I made the amendment because other programs in town had all, I thought, tightened their belt and cut their budgets in the meeting before we were up. And I said, well, everybody else in the town is doing it too. Rec probably should do it as well. If everybody else is going to tighten up, then we should too. I still think we need 2 full-timers. So I just want to be clear about that. I don't think Andy asking originally for 2 full-timers was being greedy at all. That's all. Because I've been around here, and in the last 3 years, I've seen Andy slowly in the last year especially express a little bit of like frustration where I had never seen that before. And I would inquire because I consider Andy a friend, and it was because he was stressed from having so many people coming at him all the time. And we want spreadsheets about how many numbers we're going to do on stuff. We're asking Jason to do more work when he's 25.5 hours a week right now. And we're asking him to do more things. He's doing 1.5 people's jobs right now in 25.5 hours. And Andy, one thing that's not going to be on your paper is how many hours the same people come in and sit in his office. And those people that come in and talk to him the most were the ones complaining and wanting to cut wreck. That's what I'm going to tell you. So those, if we cut out positions, you people don't come in the office anymore.
Well, that's why you use an ejection seat.
There you go.
You know those chairs that sit back and
They
just
can't be
spread it
complaining
apart.
and then come in and taking up all the guy's time.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I would think, I think there's something to be said for the fact that, and I wasn't at the town meeting, but there's something to be said for the fact that you pulled a Wayne Robinson, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I can survive with this. And that's what he does all the time.
I will say Jim Michaud kind of overrode Wayne Robinson, though, in the front end loader. They got approved for like $30,000 more. And yeah, and Jim Michaud came in and got a solution for like $30,000 less, I believe. So I know we're just not picking on Wayne because I love him and I'll give him whatever he needs. But I will say that there was one instance there where it was like, $30,000 more than Jim Michaud said, oh, I can do it for less.
And I can tell you, when they put in those salt and sand things in the back, remember Wayne wanted one. And we were like, well, can you put salt and sand? And we saved about $38,000
Yep.
by doing two. And I remember they had one guy that worked down there and he's like, I'm going to take it out with the bucket loader. You take it out with the bucket loader, you're out.
Yeah.
You're not getting one big one. You're getting the two because, again, it was $38,000.
Right.
And I remember Wayne going, oh, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, Wayne's great. He knows his stuff, so I think everybody trusts him. But I just feel the same thing about the rec department. I feel like most people in town trust the rec department because we're all donating all our time, for the most part, for the betterment of the children and other age groups in town.
Yep.
But
Yep.
if you go before there's something to be said, like you guys at the town meeting, whether you made the motion because you were thinking, hey, we're gonna do this, it sends a huge message of, I'm not being greedy.
Right.
I'm willing to say, I don't
Make a
wanna do this,
sacrifice.
but I'll live with this.
Yeah.
It's kinda like when I go to if I go to buy something, do I
Mhm.
really need that?
Yeah.
Can I survive with this?
So
That's what people do all day long. They wanna know that you're doing the
When
same
are we
thing.
going in front of Selectboard?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
28th?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you think you're gonna be prepared, this is one of the things that we talked about last week. I wanna make
So-
sure you have enough time.
That's our annual meeting.
What time?
6 o'clock is when the meeting starts.
Usually 6
Do you
o'clock
need
it
more time?
starts, and then usually by
Well, I was
6:15.
gonna-
I think that's a legitimate request. Are you working part-time, doing a full-time person
Yes.
job, and you came in new?
It's
So,
going to depend on how many things do we need. I have a note. We need the land maintenance numbers. We asked for a breakdown of what will we potentially lose, but that's a different discussion. That's not a budget. Is aside from what we have here in the land maintenance numbers, is there anything that I need to be able to go in front of the select?
How many programs do you have?
That you have.
That we have.
Well, I have that, but that's for the discussion.
Total amounts that revenue is generated. That's what, those are the
That
three
we
things.
Justification
Can't do
for.
our P and L because QuickBooks is screwed up.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I can look.
Do you
I
have
can
an
see.
overall view?
We can give you an estimate.
Yeah.
of
Give me
revenues.
a guess.
Yeah.
So like if you know that it's, QuickBooks is saying that you think you have 80,000, but you know that you roughly are gonna generate, just don't forget, I gotta go to the end of the year.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we have basketball that's coming up right now.
So
which is
let's
huge.
say historically, you make $5,000 on basketball,
Mhm.
and you got $90,000 in there. You're gonna come and say, I generate $95,000.
My QuickBooks right now is saying 101,000 is what we've generated so far.
101,000.
And I don't
How
know-
much do you make on basketball?
I'd have to look back at last year. But it's a chunk.
Basketball in 2024 was 5,760.
Right.
For revenue,
Right.
Revenue.
No, we never
Well,
make
it's-
money on it.
But
No,
it's,
he's
but you're
asking
not
for
making
revenue.
money on it. I wanna know what the revenue is, and I'm
Sure.
gonna say, yes, but we still spend out this much. So if
Yeah.
you bring in $105,000, and that's what I would do, is I would literally, you did 101, just go to 105.
Sure.
We brought in $105,000 for the year, we expended X, Y, and Z. We expended about 85,000. So the fact that I'm asking you for 137,000, I could be asking you for 200 and some odd thousand.
Right.
Right.
I'm saving money. We're generating money to offset these programs, and we've offered, let's say you go through and you got basketball and soccer and all this other stuff. Okay, we've had 25 programs that we haven't asked, we've offset that cost by having these programs. And we still have more programs to do, so you might say, next year we're hoping to add, and you don't need to list what the programs are. You can say, next year we're looking to add hopefully 5 to 10 more programs. Great, now I know there's a growth potential.
Right.
Yeah.
It justifies my existence.
Is this the total you're asking for, 100, 535, or is it more? Am I looking at the
No,
wrong?
no,
one?
that's our
130
budget.
137,
563.
That's the budget. That's how much our budget is.
I think to the point made earlier, and we need to make
101
sure
is off the
that
website, just look it up.
Jason, you're feeling 100% locked in, and we do this in my line of business all the time. We work with hospitals and healthcare facilities across the country. We do a quarterly business review with them to understand how much our temporary providers cost them for labor services all year long, but how much revenue they are generating from surgical services from all of them to justify the amount of spend that they give us constantly. Having these presentations, these numbers live as accurate as possible will really give good weight as to why and justification behind all of this.
Okay.
If you're feeling good about that, the numbers, the way it looks, everything like that, great. If Tuesday's the day, perfect. If you're not ready for that, we don't want to go into it unprepared.
Okay, so I guess that's my question. So if it's the amount of revenue that we're generating is one item, and the land maintenance is the other item, is there anything else? Because depending on what I need to accumulate will dictate whether Tuesday will work or not.
And whether or not you're gonna feel comfortable in the presentation.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, you're still doing college, so
Sure.
that's your primary.
I've already told my professor I'm leaving class early
Why
on
don't-
Tuesday to be here.
Honestly, why don't you just ask for an extension? This seems so legitimate.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm comfortable with that if that's what we think we need to do.
You want to have it be streamlined and
We talked about it last
presented.
week. I
Right.
said if you need to hunt.
Sure. I gave Julie the heads up that we might be doing that.
Yeah.
So she knows. I just didn't want to make that call until after tonight's meeting
Yeah.
to gauge where we're all at as a commission.
I personally think you would need at least
Okay.
the extra week. I personally would not want this to be rushed because we want to have
And you
A,
actually
B,
have
C.
a little bit of reprieve because I know.
And with the
last night
auditors,
They were talking about having the fire department come
right?
in to give us
Okay.
an inkling because they haven't given us anything.
Oh,
And that's a big one. That's a
Yep.
big number.
that's a big number.
so-
Ooh,
Okay. I will ask Julie for an extension, whether it's a week or two, whatever date she can get to the calendar. I will then let everybody know
yeah.
what we can
And
get.
last night, we did vote to not have a meeting on November 25th.
Okay. The week
Because
of-
that's
yeah.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
week.
correct,
Right,
25th.
yeah.
So
Yes.
we voted to basically move things either before or afterwards for budgeting, so,
I'll speak with Julie.
yeah, I just
Well,
think
within
what
that-
you wanna, the 11th or the 18th.
Yeah.
I'll see what she's able to squeeze us in. I don't know.
I mean, you
what
could do the
George-
4th,
I mean,
right?
honestly,
Because
you
you got
could
the
do the
4th.
fourth because we're already at the 20.
Is that, I don't know what's already scheduled, so I'll see what she has. All right, so the 11th.
So you're out of town on the fourth?
Traveling, I'll be in Florida for work.
Okay, so maybe we do it the 11th,
I can do the 11th.
if she has it available.
Okay.
I just think you have so
I
much
I think the
information.
PD's
Yeah.
coming on the
I have the
18th, so
history.
I'll talk
Right.
with Julie and see
Yeah.
what we
tell Julie
that's
you don't
important.
wanna be whenever the fire department's coming or where the police department's coming.
Right.
I think we had that problem last year. We went right after 5.
Don't,
No.
We
do
always-
not line yourself.
No,
up.
it was that town
We like
meeting
to
with
be
Lil
with
Wayne.
Wayne.
Yeah,
I like
Yes.
to be with Wayne.
Well,
Yeah.
he's going.
Yes.
Wayne's going. Wayne's going.
Exactly.
Because Wayne's
Yeah.
budget is way bigger than our budget.
Yeah, yes,
And
It
we
makes you guys look great.
Yes.
Wayne's going next Tuesday. We were already set up to be with Wayne,
yeah,
so we're gonna be
This coming Tuesday?
yes.
yeah,
And we're not gonna be ready.
yeah.
So I'll ask for an extension. I'll give everybody the heads up as soon as I hear.
What is it we're not gonna be ready for on Tuesday? What's gonna be so much better if we postpone a week from Tuesday? I'm just curious, Jason. What's gonna be so
What's
much
not
like
gonna
our,
Have the presentation ready.
I don't have.
what's not gonna be ready for the presentation?
I don't have. I mean, unless we want a physical like Google Slides
No,
presentation.
I don't need that.
Oh.
Okay, so when it comes to
I just need
presenting,
to make sure that you're gonna be comfortable with,
this is my
having-
first go at this ever. So this,
I'll jump in and help you.
I get you. So it's going to be.
I'm
There we
not-
go.
I'm not quiet, I'll be able to
I
help
get you.
you.
I get you. So I'm.
But I would definitely just come with a packet that's literally saying we have this many,
Sure.
Sometimes
Also,
simple
with
is better.
those additions, if I was to just hand this packet, that basically given minus a couple things because this is some supporting.
I would go with Plan B, and I
Proposal
wouldn't
B.
call it Proposal B.
No. We need to vote that
Yeah,
we're going to
well, I-
proposal B, and then your proposal B is the proposal.
So I can rename. I
Right.
can.
We need to
But if
vote
I
on
give a
that.
packet with the
You,
numbers here,
you can have the salary thing on the back.
let me do. If it's okay with the commission, I will touch base with Julie and ask her how much of a heads up she needs to reschedule things. If I can get things to a spot where by Friday where I'm comfortable,
We can table it literally right up to, you can
Okay.
come in and say, you know, you can text me and say,
Okay.
hey, Bob, I'm not gonna be
Okay.
prepared for this, and then I'm just gonna say, we're not having, I'm gonna make a recommendation to table rec, and then next time we do it. So you can
So-
do that right up to Tuesday.
can we, if it's comfortable, if your this board is comfortable, can I have the permission to make that judgment call Friday? Give me tomorrow and Friday to play with numbers, get whatever I need to. And if I go to Julie and Jim saying I'm not ready, can we go ahead and table things? Is that something that people are okay with? And otherwise, if I'm comfortable
fine with
Friday,
that.
we just
You
move
can
forward.
literally go to Tuesday morning, it doesn't matter.
I'm just giving
So
them
if
just
you
as a
know,
heads
if you
up.
know that, I think that's good, because you could find, looking over the next couple of days, that you're like, oh, I got everything together, this is great,
Sure.
then we wanna go on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, personally, I mean, I'm fine with
The board's
it.
fine with that.
If he can go till Tuesday morning, I mean, if he knows on Friday, hey, I'm ready, then,
Sure.
Then getting comfortable with it over the weekend. Like,
Yes.
If you're,
Mhm.
right,
if this thing's giving you anxiety where you wanna vomit, then.
yeah, no.
Yeah, don't be
That's
comfortable.
not you. I get
Take a
you.
deep breath and refocus, and
Sure.
then come back and have a chat with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, if you need help putting together the slides, just let me know.
Okay. I will definitely take people up on that.
Yeah.
More than
Yeah.
happy to help.
Well, this is
Okay.
your, this is your first
I mean, I think
go around.
there's enough people probably in this room that have had experience doing
Sure.
presentations and.
Everyone here is more experienced than I do, so.
Jason, you did really, like, you did.
Yeah,
really
you-
good
you
filling in.
did.
I handed you
Yeah.
that spreadsheet, so go fill in the
Don't
rest
not,
of
don't,
your
don't
spreadsheet.
Well, I'm a
knock yourself
spreadsheet guy,
out.
so spreadsheets
Yeah.
are easy.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did really well. I mean,
Yeah.
PowerPoint's a PowerPoint.
Yeah,
And I don't really necessarily think you really need a PowerPoint.
Just a
Now,
packet.
But just the
Just
packet.
a
Yep.
packet.
Yep.
Literally, make it simple.
yep,
Okay.
yeah.
Sometimes, if you noticed, even in the
Less is
meetings, I'm like,
best.
give me a piece of paper.
Less is
And the reason
best.
is I start noting everywhere. I write on everything.
So I'll plan to
I
move
can't read my
forward.
writing, but I write.
For now, the plan is to keep moving forward for the 28th. I will notify Julie and Jim as our vice chair and chair if I feel otherwise leading up to the meeting or prior. Otherwise, I'm going to plan to present Tuesday, October 28th.
And then the other thing too is, look at when the agenda comes out for the select board meeting, just ask you where you guys are falling on that agenda.
We're going to be busy that night because our next discussion is the furnace, and we're likely going to be asking to be there for that as well.
Okay.
So we're going to
see
be there regardless for a
So
while.
see if they can line them up,
Sure.
right? Like, I'd much rather tackle you guys
All at once.
All
all
together.
at once. right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and while we're here, we wanna talk about the furnace.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the furnace.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So can I have a motion to accept proposal B as the one to present before the select board?
Motion,
Sorry?
That will be retitled.
yes.
Yes. For tonight's meeting, it's proposal B.
You come in with plan B.
No.
I'm gonna do this.
It'll be
No.
renamed as the
No, 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 no.
proposal.
Yes,
Recreation 2026 project.
I second.
Who first did, sorry?
I motioned.
Motions, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right, that wasn't too bad. All right, on to furnace, because this is the other big ticket item here I have for us tonight. I have 3 quotes from 2 different companies. I was in touch with Mr. Dave Fields, who is the town's plumbing and HVAC guy. I don't have anything from him. He didn't give me anything before the due date that we gave him.
So he loses.
Yep.
So, he
Yep,
loses.
he's
So we're
out.
moving forward with the 3 that we have.
He's out.
Yep.
The 3 we have 1 from K&S Mechanical, 2 from Rick Wenzel Oil Company.
Oh.
I stapled the proposals together. One's on the front, one's on the back for Rick. I also attached an email where I asked them what the maintenance looks like on each of these systems and kind of the pros and cons. Rick obviously went more into detail than K&S did, but hopefully this provides a little bit insight otherwise. So these are the 3 proposals we've been given. I think the difference between the highest and lowest is $2,000. So they're all right in the same.
And 2 of them are exactly the same number.
They are.
2 of them are
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Correct.
38, 850,
Yeah.
38, 850 from 2
Correct.
different companies.
Yeah.
What was the difference between Rick's two proposals?
I believe he mentioned, if you go to the email I printed out, he goes into it a little bit. Let's
Talking
see.
about a thermopride system being higher end, and then a Conforto system is also a great furnace, but he's just trying to essentially give an option.
Yeah.
A little bit cheaper.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
You buy a Honda.
And who
you
knows,
buy
if
a-
you did research on it, you might find out that one's expected to last a little bit longer than the other.
I don't know anything about
Hard to say.
industrial furnaces.
I went to Chuck, who's our new building inspector, and unfortunately HVAC is not his forte, so he was not able to provide any insight on this one.
Yes, Mark.
Mark abstained because he is friends with Ed from KNS, so he did not want to give a biased.
Did you ever reach out to Heat Pro at all?
We bid this out all over the place.
Yeah.
I know
We get to respond.
Diamond here in town, I reached out to. We scheduled 1 or 2 site walks, and there were no shows. I
Yeah.
followed up to try to get a third going, and I never
Didn't
heard
they
back from them.
close? I just saw that there's spaces.
That might be why.
Oh, that's
But-
They're not
probably
there
why
anymore,
they're not
because now
there.
it's up for
Yeah.
lease.
All
Yeah.
right, that's very possible then.
And so the guy at Rick Wenzel did say why he did the two options. It says the thermopride furnace has a coated heat exchanger which helps it last longer than the standard heat exchanger, such as the
And that's why it's
Conforto.
a little
So
more.
if you think about the length of time and
Yeah,
stuff we have now has been
Yep.
a really long time.
yeah.
Seems to be the trend that we have with trying to make stuff last, and the total cost of ownership, something has to be replaced sooner rather than later.
And Bob, if you don't know the history on the furnace, we've been needing to replace this for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
Many
We are
years.
concerned it's not gonna last the winter. We need to
Like
make a
it-
decision on
yeah,
replacing
like-
this
yeah.
at the select.
This is forced hot air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the goal is to use capital reserve funds that are allocated for town buildings. I spoke with Julie Stevens about 2-3 weeks ago, asking, "Is there money for a project such as this?" And the last I was told, I tried asking for a follow up. I didn't get an email from her today. I was last told that there is more than enough money in that account that's sitting. She said that she does not. This is loosely. She said she does not anticipate anybody coming to ask for those funds. That nobody's been brought to her attention, at least asking for those funds. So we're the only ones that are potentially. I mean, we got 2 more months in the year. I don't know how many people are going to be going for these funds, but this is something that, as Val mentioned, like
Yeah.
we need this.
Well,
Hopefully,
I'm a big proponent on first come, first serve, and if
Yep.
I have nothing left,
Yeah.
and there's nothing left.
so what I'm getting at is the funds. Last I know, were there for this,
Yeah.
in excess, I believe, and nobody else is competing for it,
Yeah, and
to my knowledge.
if
When
we
can they
use
do this
this
by?
in the middle of the
That was
night,
I believe a
we're gonna
4-week
be in a
term.
world of hurt for pipes.
Yeah,
Lost
I
heat
think
over
that's what
there
they said,
for
right?
Yep.
It's not fun.
Does
It's
he-
about a
does-
4-week term.
I believe it's a
Does this include for a heat sensor in case the power goes out or in case the furnace goes down? It sends off an alert
It's a
somewhere.
generator, so I don't know how it moves into
Well,
town.
you would have an electric igniter, but I'm just wondering, like, if the temperature goes down, you guys have an alarm system over there. Is there a heat sensor in there that basically says, by the way, the temperature's going too low and your pipes could.
I don't know that.
No idea, but I know we haven't ever had that issue because of the generator. If the furnace was broken, we don't have power issues because that's the emergency
Yeah.
shelter for
Right,
the town.
correct.
So we always have heat over there.
As long as the furnace runs.
Generators.
As long as the
Right, as long
furnace
as the
is working.
furnace is
Yeah.
But
working.
if the furnace
No,
dies,
understood.
then you
Yeah,
have to have some type of sensor to say,
exactly.
FYI, you're about to have some frozen pipes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a smart thermometer would do that. We talked about
Yeah.
replacing thermostats.
Well, so these, I believe, somewhere in here it should. I believe that both companies were saying that they can install like wireless, so like I could access it from
Yep.
my phone to correct.
Perfect, then that would be your sensor.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
guys have
Yeah.
internet.
Right, hey,
Yeah,
warning,
internet
warning.
Alert saying,
Yes.
hey,
Yep.
I believe that was in here. At least when I spoke with Mark, that the intent was that would be installed along with these systems.
yeah, one says connect to existing thermostat wiring.
Oh, the one thing that I do want
This
to point
one
out.
says the same thing, so the two plans both say that.
Number 9 on Rick Wenzel, and I don't know what it is for KNS, is wiring to basically additional wiring needed is to be done by others and billed separately. So there may be, depending on
Is there not
wiring
electrical electric?
necessities.
Right.
Yeah, there will be additional costs outside of that. That was
the
one thing that
other-
Mark wanted to point out. I
And who
believe it was
the
also
other one.
Huh?
Is Kendall the same thing or not?
KNS.
It sounds like it says they can wire the new
Yeah, there says
equipment.
wiring new equipment.
So
below.
they would be the one, they
Would do the electrical, so that's probably better to go in that route if they can do that.
The only thing I want to take into account, and even just quick research on it, is that Thermopride by far is the number one best
Best
quality.
Yeah,
And if we're looking for longevity, that would be my suggestion.
yeah.
Especially, I mean, sure, there may be additional costs, but at least from
Mhm.
initial review.
The conversations that I had with Mark was that the oil furnaces that they were given, they're gonna last years.
Yeah.
The maintenance is gonna be a little bit higher because of that, but we shouldn't have to worry. Hopefully during my time here at Brentwood Rec, I should never have to worry about replacing these furnaces again,
yeah.
is what it sounds like.
So that,
So-
if you have to pay a little extra for maintenance, then I think that's better because you want it to last forever. We
Correct.
want to
And I
have to
believe-
be doing stuff.
I believe the numbers, I can't remember where it was. I think it was like $300 per system or something like that,
Oh,
which is for our
That's-
budget or our revolving account, that's
Is not,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Right.
can definitely,
I grew up in the oil heat industry, and
oh, look at this.
I've
Which is
never
being
heard, I've
quietly
never heard of a
allowed.
Conforto. So I would rule that out, even though Rick said have had good luck with them. Apparently Conforto's been around for 70 years. I do know Thermopride, and I'll second what folks said about the quality of that.
yeah.
Beckett burners, those are premium. I know Kevin Beckett himself. Those guys make an outstanding product. So I think that does get you down to the thermal prides on each one of these two companies, and then maybe making a educated, or best as you can, an educated decision on maintenance, and then also capability of the people that will be installing. I'm very familiar with Rick Wenzel Company. I know that they've been around this area a long time. They've run a very tight ship business, even throughout years and years of consolidation and acquisition within the oil heat industry. I'm not familiar with K&S.
Kianis is a local company.
How long, any idea how long they've been around?
That, I don't know that. I know Mark, who's been a townie here forever, I believe he grew up in town, knows Ed personally. So I can't speak as to how long Ed's been here in town as a business, but I know they're friends, so that I can kind of try to put two and two together.
Would be nice to support a Brentwood business.
I agree.
He's got a 4-week lead,
Yep.
so if you, because you have to come before on Tuesday, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
let's say it gets approved,
It'd be like December, January.
so
Right.
you're looking, he's gonna have to do this for December, but you need to spend the money. You'd want it, you'd have to, if it's in this year's budget, you're gonna have to get that
That's what I gotta
expended.
do fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Like,
So I guess that would be the only, I mean, you're probably gonna be asking for the 38,850, based on what I'm hearing.
yeah.
Well, and potentially a slush, not a slush, but you know,
Well, if you go with the K&S, he's got in there for the wiring.
sure. So I guess it depends on which one, because I'm also.
I don't know
hearing
the
people-
difference between an Airco and
I couldn't tell you.
Thermopride, I don't know the difference.
Now, I do know that the way that they want to set this up is currently we have one system that's heating both up and downstairs. Both of these are basically splitting it, so one unit's per floor. So it'll be zoning it more.
That's, I think that's a smarter way
And
to
that'll,
go.
and
I
it'll,
mean,
that
I
is-
heat with oil, so, and I have forced hot water, and
Yeah.
I have 4 zones in my house.
yeah, so and so that's why you're seeing 2 units as the first line there.
Would it be 2 thermostats too?
We have one for upstairs, one for downstairs, correct. That's current even. We have 2 thermostats for our 1 unit.
And then just making sure what the one that's got the Thermopride, he's connecting to the existing thermostat and thermostat wiring. If you wanna go with the wireless, making sure that they're including for that.
This is thermostat and
A few other things to consider here, folks. I'm seeing on KNS's website, that says at this time, we are not a 24-hour service company. So if something does go out, you may have to go find just
Yep.
a service person. In the About Us, it has 2 people listed. So when you do find yourself in a no-heat situation, Rick Wenzel's company is gonna be out there with
Yep.
Right.
dispatching a tech within moments. And they have been around. I don't know how big of a company they are, but they're certainly not a 2-person shop.
Yeah.
So that means they've also probably done thousands upon thousands of installs. You can probably anticipate your install is gonna go
Yeah.
very cleanly done, right to the button versus a two-person shop.
Yeah, especially for a facility. We're not talking about a house.
That's
Well,
an
in
emergency
KNS, it
shelter.
says
Yeah,
that they're,
it's an
it says
emergency
that they're
shelter.
located, their business is located in Epping, but this address does say Brentwood.
Well, it
But
could be multiple locations.
one for each person in the
This is
company.
Prescott.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant, sorry, I thought you were talking about Rick. My
This
bad,
is
my bad.
Prescott Road. That's not Heat Pro, right?
It's not Heat Pro.
Because Heat Pro was on Prescott Road. Were they?
No, and they have their business is actually on 125.
No, because,
That's
Or did they
Canada.
move
That's,
out of it?
Diamond.
No,
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 no.
no, no.
No.
They, I think they merged with somebody else, so I don't know if,
Oh,
they merged with an oil company, so they had kind of,
gotcha.
So if
so
we,
I'm not even, but I know they were on Prescott.
They
because
were
when we
at one
paved
point.
Prescott.
Yeah.
I remember the building inspector had to, because they were putting, the containers,
Yes.
they were
Yeah.
filling them.
Yeah.
And they got a violation for code because it wasn't zoned. So they had to open up the place. Near,
Near the relish factory or near?
no, the place that had, there's a car store in there too, a Napa thing.
Yes.
So-
Mobile home right there. It's across
Yeah.
from, Highland Hardwood.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
That's where they
The
moved.
storage bins.
That's
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
right, that's where they are.
to put us back on track briefly,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. If we're looking at the Rick Wenzel Thermopride as our potentially option here, the one thing that we want to consider, because Bob did bring this up, is it does say it's the existing thermostat. So we would have to, if we want to modernize it to a wireless thermostat, that would be an additional cost.
Okay.
And also that line 9 where it says if there's any additional wiring
Build
needed to be
separately.
done, it's going to be billed separately.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean that we can't still go with these. That just means that we need to raise the
Can you find
price
out
we're
an-
asking for.
Can you find out an approximate amount of like, oh, hey, if we go with you guys, what will the estimate be for these 9 and 15?
I can.
nine's by
9, they
default.
may not know. I
Okay.
mean, just because it's additional wiring, they may not know until they're actually
Until
in
they're
there
actually in
doing
there.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe just ask for a ballpark. Hey, if we have this
'Cause
scenario,
you guys
like,
you gotta request the amount we're coming.
yeah.
And then we're getting tight on time. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what the best
I
plan
had
is.
you come in and say, I need 38,850, it gets
Sure.
approved, and then all of a sudden. you
We
find
actually
out
need
it's
45.
Well, usually,
Yeah.
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong. I know in the past we've done projects where we said we're going to round up. I'm just going to
Right.
a number out there. We're going to round up to 45,000
yeah.
and say, in case things go wrong, we have a little bit of extra. So
Yeah.
I know the select boards in the past is up to $45,000, and if we don't
And
spend all that, then
Let's
it's
say
just-
we get 40,000, if there's like a $500 delta, we pay them.
Right.
We have that.
And most
Right.
of these oil companies, even though it does say connect to the existing thermostat and thermostat wiring, they do have the ability where you can purchase and they have on them some of those thermostats. So if you
Yeah.
wanted
I still
to
know what the cost is
Yeah.
and that stuff, but.
I mean, you could put a thermostat in
Sure.
yourself.
Easy enough.
Oh, yeah.
So if we were to ask
Go
for
pick up
$40,000,
two-
Go to
Nest.
Lowe's, grab
Go to
them.
Lowe's, pick
Yep.
up
Get a
two
last nest.
freaking-
sure.
Well, I'm
The
just thinking
nest.
like a
Nest
smart.
But they're
Not
here.
necessarily.
They're here doing the work. Just let them do it.
So I'm gonna
Well,
use,
yeah, I mean, but if they say we don't do that.
I'm gonna highball. If we were to ask for $40,000 to round it off in whatever excess, from thermostat and from wiring, if wiring for some reason costs us or as a department an extra, I'm going high, $5,000, that is something that we could potentially eat out of the revolving account.
Correct.
Of
Yes.
the $45,000, $5,000 is something that we could eat if that's what it costs us.
Right.
Could we just come back? If it was $5,000 more, could we just come back for an extra 5,000?
I don't think it's gonna be 5,000 for
I don't
this.
think
It's
so.
like
I just went high with a
wiring
number.
Thermostat, it's
Yeah.
not that big.
Well, I was thinking the wiring. I don't know how much the wiring and electricity is gonna cost, so I just
It's
tossed
like
a number.
low voltage wiring. It's
Yeah.
not even
Sure.
like electrical, like, it's like, it's different.
I just tossed a number out there, to be honest with you. I'm not basing that. I'm going high.
I'd
for the
go
sake of
for,
argument.
my
There's-
recommendation
there's
to this
wiring
board
to
would
an
be
igniter
ask for
too, so-
40.
Right.
Well, so if we said $40,000 what we're asking for, and we're willing to eat the delta.
I wouldn't even
Why?
bring it up.
I would not bring
Well,
that
I'm
up.
saying us. So we go to the select board, we're gonna ask for $40,000, and then us as the board, we know if it goes over, we're willing to.
I would go to the board and ask
Right.
up to $40,000.
Too.
Yeah,
For-
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
And if it, and if
Yes.
some,
Make sure you
something
say up to.
unexpected happens, right? Something unexpected happens and there's another cost, there's still money in that, right? You can go back to the select board and say, this unfortunately cost $2,500 more due to this, blah, 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 and we are requesting the second amount.
Yeah,
That's okay to do.
Becomes a supplemental.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
But at least you know you can call them,
Sure.
lock it in and get it scheduled.
Correct,
and get it
Because they say
scheduled.
they need, well, this one says he needs a 4-week lead. I don't know what they need.
I'm pretty sure Rick was in the
They were
same boat.
both, that
It's
was
right
the
around
question
the
we
same.
had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So they have to order it, they have to
Yeah.
get it in, then they're gonna put you on a schedule.
So
That's what I'm saying is we need to like get this done ASAP because
Right.
earliest they're starting on this is you got to think holidays, Thanksgiving, everything like
Correct.
that. They're starting December 1st.
also, thankfully, if they can order it over Thanksgiving,
Right.
then December before Christmas, hopefully,
Yeah.
they
Well,
can be
then
installing
that's the other
this.
problem too, right? Like, I don't wanna get into where all of a sudden they start installing this. Remember, the heat's off.
Right.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's-
So-
that's
Right. We
true.
got to get it
I'm gonna,
now.
I'm gonna
Right.
heat the building up to 70 and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they're
You have to buy
installing.
those, you borrow
Imagine
those
space heaters
Genford
at that
radiators,
point.
oil filters.
Yeah.
That's what the
Yeah,
church
so-
is using.
Yeah.
We don't have a furnace right
So
now.
honestly, I mean, I personally
waiting
think we
for a
should make a
furnace to come in.
decision
I was gonna ask, is
and
there,
just vote.
before we go ahead and make a motion,
Oil-filled
are there
radiators.
any objections, any concerns about
They work.
Thermopride and Rick Wenzel?
I think
Any
that's our best
discussion
option.
further?
I think that's the best
I
option.
just looked him up, and I know they're a multi-generational company. They used to be
Right.
Crawford, Vogel, and Wenzel. So they've been around a very long time, and they do offer 24-hour emergency service
Yes,
along with
right.
their delivery
Yeah.
and their installations and maintenance. I think this is a really night and day thing
Yep.
Yes, it is.
between one company, the K&S with two people versus
Yeah.
somebody that you can really depend on. And, obviously even Rick Vogel, they gave you two different options.
Mm-hmm,
I do think you should go with the Thermopride option and not this Conforto I've never heard of.
right.
And go for what's gonna last.
Yep.
Sure.
People that can service it.
All right.
I would also, I would only bring
The one bud. Yep, the one.
the 238.
But
Yes.
have them with you in case they ask if you did this.
Yes.
Just
Sure.
that the only one you're gonna give them a copy of is that.
That one.
Are they gonna bat an eye over $2,000? I'll have them with me.
I will-
$2,000.
I will do my best.
Okay.
And you have a good reason why, because we believe that the Thermopride, we have an expert here who's
did our
told
due
us, we did our
diligence.
due diligence.
And
Yes.
We're an expert.
And
Yeah, I lived it, I worked in the industry.
Gotcha.
But I don't know if thank you for your kind words, but a K&S is a plumbing company.
Yeah.
And, Rick Wenzel,
Heating.
they're also delivering the heat,
Right.
the fuel and things of that nature, and they're working HVAC, and I mean, it's really an apples and orange,
Yeah.
even
Who
though
do you get
this.
your oil from now?
That's the town. Town has.
Right, because we do contracts of,
Yeah, I couldn't
Right.
tell you that.
they lock in a rate.
Correct.
I know they do that with the propane with Suburban.
Yep.
I don't have the company off my head, but I was looking at them with Jim just the other day. I just can't remember the company's name. I can see the logo. But
This may seem small, but even if you had a no heat call, and those guys probably roll around at Rick Wenzel with a certain amount of tool oil that, okay, hey, we gotta get this thing
We can
back
get
up
you through.
started
Yeah.
and going, boom, we can just put 10 gallons in to get
Right.
fired up again versus the plumber, he's just be like, okay, cool, I think I fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Or they'll tell you to go get some diesel from the gas station.
Yeah.
yourself.
Put it in.
it can be
I have
done.
gone
Done it. Done it.
I've done it, yeah, been it, done that.
Twice and filled the rec center tanks because they didn't fill us in time when we ran out.
It's the
Done it a
same
couple times.
fuel. Number 2 has a red dye in it so that they can, it falls under a different tax
Yeah.
structure.
It's more
Correct.
expensive
It's
to buy
yeah.
diesel at the gas station. But
Right.
believe me, I poured diesel into the recreation department's tank.
all right.
It'll work.
So it sounds like there's a pretty
Alternates
solid
don't do that, though.
consensus.
That's a
Do
board
I have a
member's
motion?
job.
I got motion to move forward with Rick Wenzel's Thermopride option.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections?
No.
All right. All right. I will
Got enough
inform
to be
Rick.
dangerous.
Well, I will go to the select board before I inform Rick. So that will be a discussion. I will talk to Julie tomorrow to get us on the agenda to discuss that on the 28th, hopefully.
that would be great if you went to that meeting to back him up, if there's any questions.
Yeah, right. So where are you on Tuesday? 6 o'clock?
Well, I can also potentially ask Mark. I know you're tight your evening sometimes.
It depends. I mean, it's this next Tuesday. Well,
Yeah.
depending on how everything shakes out.
Yeah.
Well, the furnace we can do
First,
20th
we're doing no matter
regardless.
what because we need it for.
We
It'll be
need
the
it,
budget
yeah.
pending. but we can do the first regardless of.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident he's gonna.
6
Meeting
o'clock.
starts at 6, so it probably wouldn't be till, what, 6:15 or
Yeah.
later that we actually get to.
Right around maybe
Business.
6:30.
Yeah,
Well, it depends on
it's-
how far we are on the agenda.
Oh, shoot, it's next week. I'm gonna be out of town.
I'll speak with Mark. I can speak with Mark, who's been helping me out. Now that we've made a decision, he shouldn't have to worry about conflict of interest anymore. He should be able to help.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
And,
Usually he's
Ma-
at
and,
those
Mar-
meetings
and Mark's
anyway,
good
so
with that stuff. He knows all
I'll
that.
ask Mark.
He's probably gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He usually is, so
Sitting
I'll
in
ask.
his office.
Okay. Perfect. I have one other order of business that I wanted to ask because it was brought up to me after I sent this out. Ben Allman, who was the Eagle Scout, he was the Boy Scout who did his Eagle Scout project with us, who made the nice sign next to the concession stand.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, the family and Andy had worked out something where he was going to do the ceremony at our facility, and their understanding was that the fees for that ceremony were going to be waived due to his contribution to the rec department. I told him that I would touch base with you guys because Andy never left me any instructions regarding that. So if this commission is fine with me waiving those fees, I don't know if we need select board approval to waive fees, but I figured I'd start with you guys.
We haven't ever gotten select,
Okay.
that's been
Yeah.
Alright.
traditionally a
For the
board
commission.
decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this commission is okay with us waiving those fees, I think that personally we should because of the service that he provided us, and I'll let him know that we'll move forward. Well, I'll still collect the deposit in case there's
Yeah,
any
they still need to
incidents.
do the
I'll still do the
insurance.
insurance. I'll do
Correct,
all, the
yeah.
application. I'll have all that. It'll just be the fee that is waived. It's the hall rental fee. So it's up to this commission. But I told the mother I would to you guys.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with that.
Alright.
So we put in a motion?
I say let's do a motion to play it safe.
Motion to waive the fee for, did you say he's a Cub Scout?
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout?
Boy Scout.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. That is the last order of business I had for tonight. Is there anything else that anybody needs to bring to the board?
Perfect.
Before we go, I did have a question, Bob. I know they're gonna ask you on Tuesday at the select board meeting what your thoughts are about the rec employment situation. Do you feel right now as though you have enough information to be able to weigh in on the topic as to
Yeah.
whether or not we need a full-time
If he
employee?
comes back at me with that information that I asked him to get me, then yeah, I will support the budget you guys are proposing.
Is he getting you that info before the Tuesday meeting or during the Tuesday meeting? Because if they ask you that question before Jason gives that info, I just would like to know where you stand.
To make myself dangerous, but if he gives me that information via email, or
Thanks,
if he
Ryan.
prints it out and gives it to me when I
Okay.
walk through the door, I usually come in around 5:30 because we have to sign stuff, read stuff, and everything else. So if I come in and he gives me his little packet, I'm gonna be like, good, now I know enough to be dangerous and I can present it. When I go to board meetings all the time, I walk through the door and usually an attorney or somebody will hand me something and I'm like, all right, let's go.
The worst
I'm
case,
used to that,
in
so.
case I'm running late from class or something, I'll let Julie know that I put it on your shelf or something.
Yeah, I got the shelf in
Yeah,
there, just put
exactly.
it in there, it's got
Yep.
my name on it, just
Yep.
throw it on there.
So,
So I
I
have a
think I
shelf
can
in
do
there, and you're here all week, so, like,
Yeah.
at any point during the week, just walk in and throw it on my thing.
Yep.
And I'll look at it.
Perfect.
So yeah, at any time you guys have to get me any information, just throw it on my shelf
Mhm.
and just shoot me a note. You know, I'll give you guys my cell phone, you can text me.
I could not be there on the 28th because that's the annual meeting of our association.
Bring the whole association.
The 119
Good
households.
Yeah, squeeze them all in. Squeeze them all in.
All right.
We got an extra overflow room down there.
Any-
They have to have their own meeting though. I have to figure out how much money of mine personally is gonna get going for.
Any other discussions that we need to have?
No.
Okay. Last thing here, I have on the agenda just the updated revolving account, roughly waiting on the bill from the town. Our next meeting is usually it's on the 4th, but because of
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, we moved it the week prior. So next month it's going to be Wednesday, November 19th instead of 25th. Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's good.
26th.
Yep.
26th.
Oh, because you guys are on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's
26th.
not gonna work the day.
So
before
that'll be the one change. I'll send out a reminder ahead of time to everybody. But that's the last order of business I have. All right. Do I have a motion to end tonight's meeting?
Motion.
Non-negotiable.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Had this
Aye.
discussion
All right.
with everyone
I
else.
should've
You
known.
make a motion to adjourn, there's no more seconds, you just all in favor.
All right, we're done.